reservoir this morning. The department got the call of a possible water-related emergency around 7:45. Soon after, crews found a deceased man. Now, deputies say he was wearing a life jacket and may have been paddleboarding. At this time, it's believed to have been an accident. Some of the biggest family names in Utah are leading the charge to save the Great Salt Lake by announcing major donations. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson is live with that story. Heather?
Maria, the Miller family, the Marriotts, and the Magalettes each pledged today to donate $10 million each to save the Great Salt Lake. Josh Romney, son of former Senator Mitt Romney and founder of Great Salt Lake Rising, says we've already lost about half the water in the lake.
A few more winters like this, and we could see dramatic, irreversible effects at the Great Salt Lake if we don't intervene. The good news is 80% of the cause of decline is human caused. The reason that's good news is because we can fix that.
But Drew Magalette, a board member of Maverick's parent company, says they can't do it alone.
While the donation from Maverick is large, it cannot be the only one. It will take efforts and contributions of all sizes from businesses to save the lake.
Romney says no one in the world has ever turned around a declining saline lake, and they want Utah to be the first. Reporting live, Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
Uintah County has reduced their watering times to once a week while they go through the drought conditions. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis has more.
The county says they are moving to a once-a-week deep water for their cemetery and public buildings, which could mean after this spring weather is over, more dry areas will be spotted. Public Information Officer Angela Hawkins says while the watering schedule for the parks will also be different, they will make sure they're usable.
Our parks are very loved. They're used a lot during the summer.
Hawkins says it's best to avoid doing any sports that could damage the grass when it looks dry or brown. Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
North Ogden is also holding back on watering. The city says that they are planning to only water busy parks right now. Popular sports field will be watered to make sure that they stay safe and playable when the team's sports start up again. But the rest will have to wait until later in the season. While the state may be in a drought, we did get some rain this weekend.
We'll start in northern Utah. Logan picked up 3/4 of an inch of rain with a couple of severe thunderstorms that rumbled through. You look at Brigham City, 0.67, 6/10 of an inch in Ogden. You move into the Salt Lake Valley, pretty much 1/4 to 1/3 for everybody. And into the Utah Valley area, Orem picking up 0.22 and Spanish Fork with about 0.18 of an inch of rain.
KSL meteorologist Matt Johnson says the weather is generally quiets down over the next 3 days, but then another storm arrives in Thursday into Friday, and temperatures could get cold enough that some snowflakes could hit the valley floor. We saw 4 avalanche deaths in just 5 days this winter. Now the Avalanche Center is asking what they can learn to prevent future tragedies. KSL News Radio's Reagan Edelman reports.
The Utah Avalanche Center looked into what circumstances led to the accidents so that they can better prevent them in the future. Drew Hardesty with the center says there were some consistencies that they noticed.
Just over 70% of our avalanche fatalities occur when there's a persistent weak layer present. And most of our avalanche fatalities and accidents occur when there's a considerable avalanche danger. In this case, we had either an avalanche warning or a special avalanche bulletin, or the danger was either high or considerable, and again, all failing on a persistent weak layer.
In a new video, Hardesty says that one of the best ways for skiers to stay safe is to be prepared. Monitoring conditions, knowing how to use rescue gear, and knowing area boundaries could save a life. Reagan Edelman, KSL News Radio.
KSL's top national stories. President Trump spoke to reporters about the blockade that the U.S. has imposed on the Strait of Hormuz after talks between the U.S. and Iran fell apart. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers has more.
He was asked what the end game is there, what the goal is of this blockade, whether it is to reopen the strait or to bring down gas prices. And he said it's both, that's what he would like to see. He said you can't let a country blackmail the world. But then we heard that familiar refrain from the president that the United States doesn't actually need the oil from there. We don't get it from there. But that, of course, there is an impact on global oil prices and the supply because of what's happening there.
U.S. military is blocking ships that utilize Iranian ports in the Strait, and the Pentagon says foreign ships who pass through won't be targeted.
It was over nuclear, very similar, yeah, very good. I guess you're listening. It's over the fact that they will never have a nuclear weapon. Iran, you marking it down? Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. And we agreed to a lot of things, but they didn't agree to that. And I think they will agree to it. I'm almost sure of it. In fact, I am sure of it. If they don't agree, there's no deal. There'll never be a deal.
President Trump says Iran wants a deal very badly. First Look Traffic. Good afternoon, Cormac Bone.
Afternoon. We don't have any major accidents or delays. I-15 running clean and clear between Brigham City and Santaquin. So it's just normal slowdowns. Highway 89 in South Ogden and the 201 in Magna. I'm Cormac Bone in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 12:05.
Are you looking for a fun way to get your kids outside and off their screens this spring? Try flower gardening. Starting a beautiful flower bed or easy container garden is a great hands-on way to spend quality time together while teaching kids about nature. They'll love digging in the dirt, picking out their favorite flowers, and watching them bloom, all while making real, lasting memories. Plus, gardening is a great way to slow down, soak up some sunshine, and enjoy the fresh air as a family. This is Brian with Olson's Greenhouse, and my family has been growing flowers with care for 4 generations right here in Utah. Whether you have a big sunny backyard or just a small shady front porch, our colorful, locally grown flowers make it easy to add beauty to your home. So this spring, start with a new family tradition, one that grows with your kids. Get inspiration at Olson's Greenhouse Gardens on Instagram or find a garden center near you at ogg.com. That's ogg.com for Olson's Greenhouse Gardens.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more.
Thank you for joining us for Midday, recapping our top story. A body was found in the Jordanelle Reservoir. The Wasatch County Sheriff's Office believes it was an accident. KSL News Time, 12:07. The cost of living is continuously going up, and expectant moms who need a lot of supplies are feeling the pinch even more. KSL News Radio's Britt Johnson has the story.
Tri-County Health Department Nursing Director Casey Acey says with the cost of groceries and housing so high, these families are facing financial uncertainty.
Do I have to pay this bill or can I get diapers for my child? You know, we see it frequently.
Tri-County Health Department covers Daggett, Duchesne, and Uinta counties, which are largely rural. Acey says the underserved communities there especially have limited resources. So they're holding 2 community baby showers this month with free car seats, diapers, and supplies to hopefully give these families some help. Britt Johnson, KSL News Radio.
The Joab School District is welcoming students back to school this morning with precautions after confirming a case of the measles. The district says there will still be school this morning. Anyone with symptoms should stay home. The Utah Health Department's Nicholas Rupp says it takes a few days, though, for the symptoms to look like measles.
You'll get a fever, cough, runny nose, red eyes, kind of typical cold-like symptoms. And then a few days after that, you'll come down with that telltale measles rash.
The case was announced on Saturday. They say the families of students who have had a significant risk of exposure have been contacted. New data out of Summit County shows the top health concern for residents is decreasing vaccine rates. Deputy Health Director Kendra Babbitt says it's not surprising.
We're in the middle of a measles outbreak right now. It's not a surprise that, people are concerned about vaccinations, but the thing that they're most concerned with here was other people not being vaccinated and more of a population concern here that we are seeing more preventable disease being spread.
Babbitt says the data helped inform a community health improvement plan for the next 5 years, which ultimately aims to increase immunization throughout the county. Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at UCCU.com. Cormac, any trouble spots?
Well, no delays on I-15 between Brigham City and Santaquin, but where we do have some light delays, is both directions on Pioneer Crossing at Saratoga Road. That's just construction congestion where you'd usually see it. And we also do in South Ogden have normal delays on Highway 89 in both directions at the Harrison Boulevard and Skyline Drive intersections. While you're planning your day, plan for comfort too with the Good Feet store. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Cormac Bone in the KSL Traffic Center.
Partly cloudy skies today and a high of 59. There's also a slight chance for a pop-up shower. 59 tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Partly cloudy, 68, mild on Wednesday, giving way to a cold front Thursday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now in downtown Salt Lake City, it's mostly cloudy and 52 degrees. Still to come on Midday, we'll hear about the new Temple Square Visitors Center. That's coming up, streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We are Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Salt Lake City, this is your final boarding call, extended by popular demand. Titanic, the exhibition, is sailing away soon. Don't miss your last chance to experience the heartbreaking and heroic stories of her passengers and crew. See the incredible artifacts before the doors close forever on April 19th at the Shops at Southtown and Sandy. Get your tickets before they're gone at thetitanicexhibition.com. That's thetitanicexhibition.com.
I'm Congressman Mike Kennedy. For years, Utah families have paid too much for health care, groceries, and everyday essentials. I'm fighting for health care reform that puts patients first and lowers costs. I'm also working to cut waste, fraud, and abuse in Washington because your tax dollars should be spent wisely. Fiscal responsibility means lower costs and a government that works for you. I'm Mike Kennedy, and I'll keep fighting for Utah families. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Right now, water heaters are on sale at Any Hour Services. Schedule a free estimate today to see how much you'll save. Google Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
Everything to my back is dark.
High in the alpine wilderness.
Really ugly clouds coming over from the north.
A place
the ridgeline is imposing, the escarpments, the drops.
where survival
It's dark now. I have nothing.
is never certain.
This is not good.
My name's Dave Cawley, and I'm the host of a podcast called Uinta Triangle. It's about the disappearance of an Australian hiker named Eric.
Our conclusion and that of the sheriff is that the mountains have decided to keep him.
Come retrace Eric's footprints with me.
You have done this walk too, but this is your backyard. Did he really make a wrong turn, or did he decide that he was done?
He is not the first or last person to vanish in this remote region.
It was haunting to see the photos. I mean, really.
Find and follow the podcast series Uinta Triangle. That's Uinta, spelled U-I-N-T-A, Triangle, wherever you get your podcasts. All episodes out now.
KSL News Time, 12:15. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
3 of Utah's major players are each pledging to donate $10 million to save the Great Salt Lake while calling on everyone to play a part in protecting this valuable resource. I'm KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson.
Second, the new Temple Square Visitor Center is set to open next month. Today, we are getting a sneak peek at the experiences, sculptures, and full-scale replicas. Third, traffic and weather together, Cormac.
It's a problem-free drive, Maria, on I-15, both directions between Brigham City and Santaquin, but Pioneer Crossing still seeing its construction congestion from Redwood Road over to I-15. I'm Cormac Bone in the KSL Traffic Center.
Partly cloudy skies today with a slight chance for a pop-up. I'm Matt Johnson.
Partly cloudy, 52 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Time now for KSL's top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. More fallout after President Trump criticized Pope Leo after the Pope called for peace and an end to the war in Iran. Pope Leo, traveling to Algeria for a papal visit, told reporters he has no fear of the Trump administration. ABC's Melissa Don is traveling with the Pope.
There is now fallback from the president's comment, including conservative Bishop Barron calling for Trump to apologize. U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops saying they are disheartened by the president's words. All of this as Pope Leo is now touring Algeria, visiting with diplomats and also visiting a mosque and a Catholic church as he works to build bridges between Christians and Muslims.
President Trump at the White House says he will not apologize to the Pope. The image posted on President Trump's personal account appearing to be Jesus-like and healing the sick appears to have been removed. The post drew criticism from some of Trump's supporters as anti-Christian. President Trump says the image was of him as a doctor. The president also pushed back after imposing a U.S. naval blockade at the Strait of Hormuz. He says after learning Iran was charging ships to pass.
It's going on. Right now, there's no fighting. Right now, we have a blockade. They're doing no business.
The president last week suggested the U.S. and Iran could work together to collect tolls from ships using the waterway. The Trump administration is reversing course after banning the pride flag at the Stonewall National Monument in New York City.
Earlier this year, gay rights groups filed a federal lawsuit challenging the removal of the rainbow banner at the site of the historic 1969 Greenwich Village riot that touched off the modern gay rights movement. At the time, the National Park Service cited a policy that only allowed certain non-agency flags. But in a new court filing, officials say it's been agreed the pride flag will once again fly, joining the U.S. flag and the Park Service flag at the Stonewall National Monument.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy, you're listening to ABC News.
Time for the KSL In-Depth. The new Temple Square Visitor Center is set to open next month. But right now, we're getting a first look. There are sculptures all over. A sculpture commissioned to be the heart of the lower-level gallery is called Come Unto Me. Brett Nielsen is the coordinator for the celebration.
The Savior is in a position in this sculpture that shows us that he's on our level and he's inviting us to come and be with him.
Christian Bolt is the artist.
The title is Come Unto Me, but I wanted to show also that Christ is moving himself also towards human mankind. With one hand, the Savior is reaching out for individual, but with the other, he's opening himself to receive each one of us. So this is a very delicate and intimate process, and it needs to be warm and it needs to be inviting.
And the visitor center is set to open next month.
Matthew.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I just need you to listen to me.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thanks, Mom, for never giving up and always being my biggest fan.
Thank you for letting me know what you expect, so I can try to meet your expectations.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Cormac?
We don't have any accidents or delays on our freeways all across the Wasatch Front. I-15, a problem-free drive between Ogden and Provo. We do have a city street crash, though. This is in Springvale, northbound Main Street, just after Center Street. They're blocking a right shoulder there. But heavier delays in Springvale are on Main Street, both directions at 400 South. This Mother's Day, treat Mom to something unforgettable at the Roof with our brand new spring into summer brunch menu she'll love. Celebrate Mom in style above the heart of Salt Lake City. TheRoofSLC.com. Cormac Bone in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. You got partly cloudy skies today with a high of 59 and a very slight chance for an afternoon shower. 59 tomorrow, mostly cloudy by afternoon. Partly cloudy on Wednesday, 68. That'll be the warm before the storm. It's a cold front Thursday, bringing in rain, maybe even a little valley snowflake activity, 56. 47 a.m. snow shower Friday. You got Saturday at partly cloudy, 57. 67 partly cloudy on Sunday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Partly cloudy, just a bit of sunshine in downtown Salt Lake City, 52 degrees. The 7-day forecast is brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Quick check of the markets at this hour. The Dow up by 75 points, and the other indices are up as well. A complete update of your money news is coming up next.
This weekly tax tip is brought to you by the Utah Association of Certified Public Accountants. Here's CEO Susan Spears.
You owe a big tax bill and you can't afford to pay. Don't run away from it. Here are the action steps the UACPA urges you to take immediately. First, always file your tax return on time, even if you can't pay. The penalties for not filing are much worse than the penalties for not paying. The IRS actually has options that can help. You can set up a payment plan or explore temporary relief. Go directly to irs.gov and search payment plan or installment agreement. You can apply online and see what options you qualify for. Ignoring your tax bill won't make it disappear, but dealing with it head-on can save you penalties and reduce your stress.
Get the most out of your income tax preparation when you hire a licensed CPA. Visit uacpa.org to find a CPA that's right for you. And check out new tax tip videos by following on social media at Talk to Your CPA.
Teaching the Constitution isn't as simple as it used to be.
We're much more cautious.
Some Utah teachers say even civics lessons can be misunderstood.
I'm more cognizant of what I say.
Not fear, but anxiety.
Yet they believe this moment matters more than ever.
If we don't give them the space to learn civil discourse, where are they going to learn it?
Peter Rosen shares why educators say the future of our democracy starts in the classroom. Utah celebrates America 250 tonight at 10 on KSL.
Don't miss the excitement of the crowd, the perfect ping of 300-yard drives, the sound of sinking a 15-foot putt, shifting the leaderboard. Challenge is an understatement. Beautiful, bold, athletic. LPGA's next-gen stars vying for glory on a course that's as stunning as it is challenging. The Copper Rock Championships Epson Tour, May 14th through 16th. Come for the game. Stay for the journey. Copper Rock, born to be played.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
As the #1 small business lender, Zions Bank helps entrepreneurs reach and exceed their goals. Visit your local branch or zionsbank.com/SBA. Equal housing lender.
KSL News Time 1224. Fishermen are getting federal permission to once again catch salmon off the coast of California. ABC's Wayne Cabot has more.
The salmon are running again in California. So many federal fishery managers voted Sunday to open the coast to commercial salmon fishing for the first time since 2022. Recent wet winters mean more cold water, which the fish need to spawn. Populations have also bounced back because we humans removed 4 dams that blocked their spawning routes. After they hatch, they mature in the Pacific for a few years, then migrate back to their freshwater spawning grounds where they lay eggs and die. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Watching Utah's money. Kia is expanding their fleet. The company plans to release a pickup truck. It will have some hybrid variants, and it should be out by 2030. CNBC reports the company is expected to sell 1.02 million vehicles by 2030. A small reminder, tax day is on Wednesday. That means taxpayers will need to submit their forms by then or file for an extension. We'll have some tax tips today on Inside Sources. I should say we will have tax tips this week. You can tune in tomorrow to Inside Sources at 10 for more tax tips. It's getting harder to hire dishwashers. Tens of thousands of job listings were posted in the past year, but still remain open. Wall Street Journal says it's partly because of President Trump's crackdown on immigration. Foreign-born workers make up about 20% of the restaurant industry. And taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow is up by 70 points, sitting at 47,987. S&P up by 31 points, about 0.5%. The NASDAQ up by more than 0.5%, up by 149 points. A Coachella performance is receiving some major criticism. Justin Bieber took the stage, but some are calling it underwhelming. There were no fancy sets or tricks. It was just him on stage playing some of his old music videos and singing a song every now and then. No elaborate stage or even backup dancers, just a computer for him to play videos off of.
This is Nate Orchard from Advanced Window Products. When you live in Utah, your windows do a lot more than let the light in. They protect your home from freezing winters, blazing summers, and everything in between. That's why Advanced Window Products builds every window for your local climate. No middleman, no out-of-state delays, just factory direct quality, custom made for your home. Imagine a quieter home, a warmer home, a cooler home. Our high-efficiency vinyl windows are engineered to lower your energy bills and boost your comfort all year round. And installation is done by our own certified in-house crews, never subcontractors. That's why Utah homeowners give us 5-star reviews. Right now, take advantage of our anniversary sale. For a limited time, get $2,500 off when you buy 10 or more windows. Call 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100. For 40 years, Advanced Window Products has been the name Utah trusts for custom replacement windows and sliding glass doors. Advanced Window Products, built here, installed here, trusted here. Call 801-850-9100 for that $2,500 off, or visit us at advancedwindows.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
When American troops withdrew from Afghanistan in 2021, thousands of evacuees fled to the U.S. for protection. Many Americans welcomed their new neighbors.
For the last week, the governor tells me his office has been getting calls nonstop with Utahns wanting to help.
When we saw the pictures and the videos coming out of Afghanistan, we prayed to be able to help them.
But then, what happened? Listen to Stranger Becomes Neighbor, wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU. Love where you bank. Cormac?
Well, we don't have any delays on I-15 from Brigham City to Santaquin, both directions, but we do still see the normal congestion on Highway 89 in South Ogden at Harrison Boulevard and Skyline Drive. A little bit of congestion as well just after the mouth of Weber Canyon on Highway 89. And in Utah County, it is Pioneer Crossing. That construction delay still giving drivers grief. Scattered and light in both directions from Redwood Road over to I-15. I'm Cormac Bone in the KSL Traffic Center.
Calling for partly cloudy skies today and a slight chance for a pop-up shower, 59. 39 overnight, quiet, 59 tomorrow, mostly cloudy by afternoon. It's partly cloudy Wednesday, 68. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now, 52 degrees downtown.
You're listening to Midday with Maria Shilaos
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, KSL News Time, 12:30. KSL's top story this hour. Police have arrested a man who is accused of beating up the driver of a car that he got into a crash with in Eagle Mountain. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has more.
Police say the victim told them the wheel of a pickup truck rubbed against his car's bumper while it was trying to pass him on Pony Express Parkway Friday afternoon. The truck driver then allegedly sped around, brake-checked him, and then started throwing bottles at his car. According to arrest documents, the truck driver then stopped in the middle of the road, got out, and then is accused of punching the victim in the face repeatedly. Investigators say the 25-year-old man driving the car sustained several injuries, including a broken tooth and a split lip. When police later tracked down the man accused of throwing those punches, they say he told them he did it because the victim, quote, had a smirk on his face, according to arrest documents. 27-year-old Daniel Carnitas has been booked into jail on suspicion of several crimes, including felony assault. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
A Springville man is now in police custody accused of killing his mother and another man who have been missing for weeks. Sarah Johnson as well as John Hendricks had last been seen March 20th, and police have said that their evidence suggests that they were shot. 28-year-old Matthew Jacob Leonard has been booked into the jail on suspicion of aggravated murder and obstruction of justice. Police are asking he be held without bail. The Salt Lake City Police Department is looking into a shooting late last night. There were some reports of shots fired around 1045 South and 15th West. Officers found some shell casings. Local hospital reached out with some information about a man they treated with a gunshot wound. Officers believe that it is related, but say there is no active threat to the public at this time. We are learning more about the Salt Lake City building purchased by the Department of Homeland Security. KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla reports.
Some new county records uncovered by KSL show that technically only half the land the warehouse is on belongs to them. The land is technically two separate parcels. One is owned by DHS, and the other is owned by a limited liability company with ties to a German bank. Salt Lake County Assessor Chris Stavros tells KSL he thinks DHS probably meant to buy both, and this is just an oversight somewhere. Having two owners will make property taxes a little confusing, but Salt Lake County has reached out to the title company to see if there was an error in the deed somewhere. Alexandria Bonilla, KSL News Radio.
Some changes today for UTA riders.
A new express line, a new way to pay, and some route changes in place this morning after UTA's spring change day over the weekend. Mid-Valley Express is now running through Murray, Taylorsville, and West Valley, and even includes a stop at the Taylorsville campus of Salt Lake Community College. Riders are also being transitioned over to the Fair Pay card. Fair Pay is a reloadable card that automatically caps daily and weekly fares to ensure riders get the best deal possible. A release from UTA says there are also changes to some routes, including service to Lagoon on Sundays. Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
There is now a detour in place on the Jordan River Parkway Trail in Lehigh to accommodate the construction of the new 2100 North Freeway. UDOT has temporarily blocked off a portion of the trail that goes under 2100 North. For the time being, you'll be diverted over to 2300 West, then back around to the main trail. A UDOT spokesperson tells KSL they expect the detour to be gone sometime in the next month. KSL's top national stories. President Trump and Pope Leo are at odds. The president responded to comments made by the pontiff calling for peace and criticizing the war in Iran. He said Pope Leo is soft on crime and he doesn't want a pope who criticizes the president of the United States. ABC's Melissa Adon is traveling with the pope and says he's not afraid.
There is now fallback from the president's comment, including conservative Bishop Barron calling for Trump to apologize, and the head of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops saying they are disheartened by the president's words. All of this as Pope Leo is now touring Algeria, visiting with diplomats and also visiting a mosque and a Catholic church as he works to build bridges between Christians and Muslims.
President Trump says he won't apologize because he doesn't need to. The fallout from religious communities continues after the president posted an AI-generated image of himself looking like Jesus and appearing to heal someone who was sick. When asked by a reporter about the image, he said he didn't think that he looked like Jesus.
I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support, and only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it. And I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better. And I do make people better. I make people a lot better.
The president has since deleted that post. First look traffic. What's happening, Cormac?
Maria, not much is happening on our roadways. I-15 still a problem-free drive between Ogden and Provo. It's construction in Pioneer Crossing in Lehigh. That's the worst of our delays. I'm Cormac Bone in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 12:34.
Doug Wright here with Monty at Connecticut Quality Water Systems of Salt Lake, an authorized independent dealer. Monty, give it to me straight. Why is Connecticut the premium choice over those standard electric softeners?
Doug, it comes down to this. Do you want an appliance you have to babysit? Standard water softeners have microprocessors and computers that need setting and adjustment, and they use a lot more salt. So you get to haul 40-pound bags of salt down to your basement every month or so.
And Connecticut?
Zero electricity, zero timers to reset, zero downtime, and uses 70% less salt. It's a higher standard of engineering that completely removes the hassle of owning a water softener.
That's what I love about my Connecticut. Dee and I never have to even think about it. We occasionally add a bag of salt and it just works, and I've never had to set or adjust anything. Do what I did and get the one that just works. Find out how soft your water could be at softwaterutah.com. That's softwaterutah.com.
Thank you for joining us for Midday. Recapping our top story, police in Utah County have taken a 27-year-old man to jail. He's accused of punching another driver in the face after they got into a car accident in Eagle Mountain. KSL News Time, 12:36. Utah Jazz season is over, and the organization can now focus on the upcoming draft lottery. The Jazz finished up the season with a loss to the Los Angeles Lakers, giving them a record of 22-60. Head coach Will Hardy says it was a rough year, but he's excited about what's to come for his team.
The end of the season always sucks. This is such a big part of all of our lives. I don't know if it's relief or sadness or a combination of 8 different emotions. In the background of my brain, it's a lot of excitement about what's next and the opportunity to continue to build with this group.
The Jazz are tied with the Sacramento Kings for the 4th worst record in the NBA. The Jazz have a 45% chance of landing a top 4 pick in the draft lottery. The Utah Mammoth are still trying to cement their spot as the top wild card team in the Western Conference, but last night's game didn't help. The Mammoth lost to the Calgary Flames 4-1. KSL Mammoth insider Cole Bagley says holding on to that top spot is important.
If they were to drop to that second wild card spot, they would have to face the juggernaut, the Colorado Avalanche, the team that is, I believe, on pace to be the best team in the regular season, which would win them the President's Trophy. If not, if they're able to hang on to that top wild card spot, they'll face the top of the Pacific, which right now we don't know who that's going to be.
The Mammoth have 2 games left in the season, and both games are at home. The playoffs start in 5 days. Thousands of fans showed up to say goodbye to the Utah Grizzlies. The team that has called Utah home for decades played their final home game last night at the Maverick Center.
It was hardcore hockey. It was fighting. It was talking trash, doing everything we needed.
Every spot in there was a good seat. They were engaging with the fans, like they were talking to us, and it just felt like a more friendly environment.
Didn't turn out our way, but it was amazing. I loved the comeback.
The Grizzlies arrived in Utah in 1995 but are now moving to New Jersey. Some of the fans last night told us that they hope hockey can stay at the Maverick Center, giving hockey fans a more affordable option to NHL games. Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Here's Cormac Bone.
Looks like our heavier delays are in Utah County right now. Pioneer Crossing, of course, with its construction, seeing scattered delays both directions from Redwood Road over to I-15. It's especially slow both directions approaching Saratoga Road right now. And in Spanish Fork, Highway 6, seeing its congestion both directions at Canyon Creek Parkway near I-15. But on I-15, you shouldn't see any brake lights between Ogden and Provo. I'm Cormac Bone in the KSL Traffic Center.
Hey, we've got partly cloudy skies today. Temperatures on the cool side, 59 for a high, and a very slight chance for an isolated shower. Mostly cloudy by tomorrow afternoon, 59. 68, partly cloudy on Wednesday. Chance for rain and maybe even valley snow Thursday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Partly cloudy and 54 degrees in downtown Salt Lake City. And coming up on Midday, We will talk to former FBI agent about the threat that AI giants are dealing with. That's coming up, streaming live at KSL News Radio and on the app for KSL News Radio. We are Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
At Trio South Ogden, the best years aren't behind you. They're right here. Discover independent living services that embrace aging as an opportunity to lean in, not step back, to pursue passions, not retire from purpose. Here, life is bright, colorful, and unapologetically fun. Because aging doesn't mean changing who you are. It means having more time to be exactly who you are. Schedule your tour today at trioSouthOgden.com.
Higher taxes, soaring inflation, record low interest rates, and the skyrocketing cost of healthcare. The list goes on. Retiring successfully today is a lot more complicated than ever before. Learn how you could tackle the biggest challenges that you'll face in retirement today. Don't miss a special edition of Retirement Solutions Radio. It's this Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock, right here on KSL, News Radio 1027.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Hey folks, Jay Broadbent here from Alpine Home Medical. I've been helping folks breathe easier for 29 years now. Trust me, at my age, I know a thing or two about needing a good night's sleep. Is your CPAP mask old and nasty? Are your masks, filters, or tubing from the pre-COVID era? Or just plain tired of the hassle of ordering supplies yourself? Switch to our resupply program. We handle everything. Automatic shipment straight to your door. Insurance billing and expert support. It's quick, easy, and keeps your sleep therapy on track. Doesn't matter where you got your machine from, anyone can join. Head to alpinehomemedical.com, click on the Easy Resupply button. That's alpinehomemedical.com.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Hi, Grandma. What's for dinner?
Hey, honey, I'm making stew tonight.
Ooh, can Nina come over?
I'm not sure about our new friend. I wonder if there's been any drinking going on. Alcohol at her age can lead to so many bad things. I've been meaning to ask you, what would happen if someone offered you a drink?
Grandma?
This is hard. She's so young, but I know I need to talk to her about it now before someone tries to give her alcohol. If anyone ever does offer you a drink, I want you to say no. I have too much respect for my family, and I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay.
Really?
I promise, Grandma. I love you too.
Okay, how about tasting this stew and telling me what you think?
Some children may try alcohol as young as 9 years old. It's not too early to talk about drinking. For tips on how to begin the conversation, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. That's underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. This message brought to you by SAMHSA and this station.
Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, a gripping new podcast about a serial killer you've probably never heard of, Warren Forrest.
If he had dumped two, you would have thought maybe there's another one.
But now a witness, identified in the podcast, could lead investigators to Jamie Grissom. Binge Stolen Voices of Dole Valley wherever you get your podcasts and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the latest breaking news in the case.
KSL News Time, 1245. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
Uinta County is reducing watering times to help conserve, so it's warning residents the grass is going to be dry. I'm KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis.
Second, the arcade bar quarters had a nasty surprise Sunday when a burst pipe nearly flooded out their collection of retro games. Third, traffic and weather together, Cormac.
Just a touch of southbound I-15 delays Maria in Murray approaching 5300 south, but otherwise I-15 looking really good between Ogden and Provo. And of course, construction delays in Lehigh do persist. I'm Cormac Bone in the KSL Traffic Center.
Generally dry skies for the next couple of days, then a cold front Thursday. I'm Matt Johnson.
Partly cloudy, 54 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Time now for KSL's top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Lawmakers back from holiday break and returning to take up an ethics probe into Democratic Representative Eric Swalwell, who is facing sexual assault allegations. He has suspended his campaign for the California governor's race.
In a brief statement, the bipartisan leadership of the House Ethics Committee says the panel has begun an investigation into the California Democrat regarding allegations of sexual misconduct. One woman who once worked for Eric Swalwell told the San Francisco Chronicle he sexually assaulted her when she was too intoxicated to consent, once in 2019 and again in 2024. Swalwell has fiercely denied the claim. Other women have said Swalwell sent them inappropriate text messages and lewd photos.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. The fragile ceasefire between Iran and the U.S. appearing to hold despite talks breaking down. President Trump also imposed a U.S. blockade on ships traveling to and from Iranian ports, saying Iran is trying to blackmail ships. On Wall Street, stocks are up this hour. This is ABC News.
Time now for the KSL In-Depth. We are seeing reports of violence to people or companies connected to AI. The home of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman was shot at, and just last week, a data center in Eagle Mountain was evacuated after a bomb threat. Former FBI agent Greg Rogers joins me live. Greg, thanks for being with me.
You bet. Always a pleasure.
So what do you think is happening here? I mean, is this like souring public opinion on AI?
Well, I think what's going on is you notice that a lot of the offenders that have been arrested so far are pretty young. And I don't think it's any different than some of the other attacks we've seen. Basically, there are a bunch of youth that are getting sort of radicalized in encrypted chat rooms. They get into these chat rooms and they talk with people all day that just agree with them. And AI has become people are fearful of it, that it's going to take jobs. There's also people that don't like it because of the environmental impact it's going to have, because of the amount of water the big centers use. So they get on these chat rooms and they talk all day about how they've got to do something about it and how it's going to be so destructive. And they act out this way, so it's dangerous.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned a couple of these people have been arrested. Is it pretty easy for law enforcement to catch these guys?
Yeah, because you've noticed the ones in California, Mr. Altman's residents, they're not savvy at all. That's why I think these are just these young people that are in these, again, getting radicalized in these chat rooms because they weren't even careful. They showed up in their own car. A property like Altman's is going to have incredible security, which of course it did. So they got videos of them leaning out of the car. They also got perfect shots of their license plates. So, I mean, these people weren't savvy. They weren't being careful. They were certainly not sophisticated. They were acting impulsively.
So right now they are targeting AI, but have you seen this pattern before?
Yeah, no, this is very similar to the shooting in Butler when President Trump was just a candidate. There's indications that the shooter there was on some of these chat rooms in the Charlie Kirk shooting. Same thing. Mr. Robinson was clearly in some of these chat rooms. And so, again, it's just not healthy for folks to get into these rooms and be talking to people, other extremists who everybody just agrees. So when you say things like in a chat room like that, when you say, yeah, I'm going to go throw a pipe bomb at Altman's residence, everybody agrees with you. They say, oh, that's great because you're in there with a bunch of people that have extreme views like you do. So there's not a voice of reason. There's no one saying, that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's criminal. What do you hope to achieve,
So, Greg, how does law enforcement deal with this? I mean, do they monitor chat rooms?
We try, but it's very difficult. These are encrypted, and so you have to have, most of these are encrypted, so you have to have access passcodes. So we do have, clearly we have people that work online undercover like we do in child pornography investigations. But to get into these encrypted chat rooms, you've got to have, usually you've had to have arrested somebody and get them to agree to cooperate and give you their passwords and tell you about the chat room. And so it's not as easy as you think. It's a difficult thing to do, but we do our best to do it, but it's tough.
So do you just see this this kind of situation getting worse?
Unfortunately, yes. It's what's happened is, and you've noticed it again in say things like protests against ICE and protests against other. There seems to be a more of an acceptance of acting violently and to do things at protests that normally you wouldn't do. People are bringing firearms, like at our No Kings protest here that broke, that we had that horrible situation at. There seems to be more of an acceptance to act violently and to try to prove your point by doing something violently, and because you're going to get more press, and so that's becoming more and more common, and that's dangerous.
Greg, I appreciate your time. Thanks for being with me.
You betcha.
That is former FBI agent Greg Rogers joining me. Let's get you up to date on the drive, traffic, and weather. It's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Here's Cormac Bone.
Well, those southbound I-15 delays that started in Murray and now is at 4500 South. That's due to a controlled slowdown that has now come to a complete stop at the South interchange. I'm looking at an emergency vehicle in the middle of the lanes. Looks like they're trying to clean up some debris. Looks like he just got in his truck and is starting to pull away, so those lanes might open up, but it is slow from 4500 South down to the South interchange on southbound I-15. Otherwise, roadways looking really good all across the Wasatch Front. Still seeing those regular construction delays on Pioneer Crossing and Lehigh. When you need the financial products and services for every stage of life, Cyprus Credit Union is there for whatever the future holds. Visit cypruscu.com today. Cormac Bone in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. You got 59 degrees today, definitely on the chilly side. Partly cloudy and just a 30% chance for an isolated shower. 59 tomorrow, mostly cloudy, maybe a sprinkle. 68 mild, partly cloudy on Wednesday. We then move into Thursday with a chance for rain, snow showers. 56, 47 a.m. snow shower Friday. Into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 50s and 60s. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And it's partly cloudy, 54 degrees in downtown Salt Lake City. And the 7-day forecast is brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Quick check of the markets in positive territory right now. A complete update of your money news is next.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Do you spend half your day walking or standing while working? If you have foot, knee, or back problems, the Good Feet store wants to help you like we helped Tony.
Pain that I experience the most is foot pain from being on my feet all day. You're having to kind of talk to yourself through the whole shift, like, I got this, I can do this. Before, I felt defeated, and now it's like, all right, let's go. I'm ready. A whole new life, like sunshine coming on.
And how about working more comfortably, like Dennis?
Working at an amusement park, it's always on your feet. I just couldn't take it, but I didn't have a choice. I just couldn't believe that putting these arch supports in made that much of a difference that quickly. I could do my job and I could take care of my family. I know what my tomorrow's gonna be. It's gonna be positive.
You deserve a better life too. Stop in the Good Feet store today. We have locations in Farmington, Riverton, and Sandy.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
If your water heater's over 10 to 15 years old, congratulations. You've beat the average. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and I love hearing stories of people having water heaters that are really old and they're still doing their job. Unfortunately, most of us won't be that lucky. And when water heaters fail, it's usually in spectacularly inconvenient fashion. Whether it's an unexpected cold shower when we're already running late for work, or worse yet, coming home to a flooded basement, it's never fun. If you'd like to look into replacing your water heater before it fails, Any Hour Services is having a sale for any homeowners listening. Whether you're looking for a new tanked water heater or you want to see what upgrading to a tankless would cost, the plumbers at Any Hour Services can show you what options are available. And right now, you can save $400 on a tanked water heater or $1,200 on a tankless. If you think you might be interested, call Any Hour Services today and schedule your free estimate. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Every day here in Utah, people turn to KSL News Radio for one simple reason: trust. Trust for our reporters, hosts, our coverage, and trust in the businesses heard right here. I've met so many of our listeners over the years, and they'll tell you KSL is part of their daily routine, in the car, at work, at home. And when they hear your business here, it carries the weight of that trust. It isn't just another ad. It's a recommendation coming from a reliable source. When you advertise on KSL News Radio, you reach a loyal, highly engaged audience who listens intentionally. They show up for breaking news, accurate information, and meaningful conversations. And because of that connection, they respond. And when you pair our on-air credibility with digital tools like display advertising, social media, streaming audio, search, geo-targeting, and retargeting, you get a full funnel strategy that works and reaches the right people at the right time. Get marketing that truly moves the needle. Partner with the voice Utah trusts. KSL. Learn more at kslnewsradio.com/advertise.
Watching Utah's money. Wayfair is taking a risk and launching its first brick-and-mortar stores. The online furniture company has been around since 2002, but it's never had a physical location. These stores will be in Georgia, Ohio, Colorado, Florida, Illinois, and New York. McDonald's is getting energized. The world's biggest fast food chain is adding energy drinks to their menu. It follows their not-so-successful launch of Cosmix, a chain focused on fun drinks. And taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow up by 97 points, sitting at 48,013. S&P up by 41. NASDAQ up by 194.
My friend Joey means well.
Always remember that the early bird gathers no moss.
But he gets a little confused.
You know, you can't make a silk purse out of a wooden nickel.
Like Joey, many of us can be confused when it comes time to plan for retirement. When to take Social Security, how to use that 401k, what about the stock market, taxes, and Medicare? Todd Kim at Galileo Wealth Management can help to simplify retirement planning. His goal is to have you walk into retirement with confidence, not worry, and to address the number one concern among retirees today, the fear of running out of money. Call Galileo Wealth today for a no-cost, no-obligation meeting to talk about the details of your retirement. 385-247-7000. It's 385-247-7000 or online, GalileoWealth.com. And remember,
one man's trash is thicker than water. Of course, water's not thick at all. It's watery.
For over 22 years, speaking on business on KSL News Radio has been a beloved tradition, celebrating our heroic business leaders and Utah consumers who have helped build one of the strongest state economies in the nation. Now, under the stewardship of the Salt Lake Chamber and hosted by Chamber President and CEO Derek Miller, the program continues to shine a spotlight on those who make Utah's business environment dynamic and thriving. With his expertise and passion, Derek brings the stories of our business community to life. As part of the Salt Lake Chamber, Speaking on Business is proud to continue its legacy of highlighting inspiring stories, trends, and special guests. Support Utah businesses now and be part of Utah's thriving economy. More information can be found at slchamber.com. That's slchamber.com. Sign up for KSL Text Alerts. Get breaking news and traffic updates by texting the word news to 57500. Want access to exclusive contests? Text contest to 57500. Jazz fans, text the word jazz for breaking jazz updates. And Cougar fans, text BYU to 57500 for the latest on the Cougars. Message and data rates may apply.
Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU, love where you bank. Cormac?
Still seeing some residual delays southbound I-15 in Murray after that controlled slowdown for what I assume is debris cleanup. Southbound I-15 slow approaching 5300 south in Murray. We actually also have some northbound I-15 delays popping up after 3300 south and reaching up to the I-80-201 interchange. Otherwise, I-15 through Weber, Davis, and Utah counties, no delays. We do still see the normal slowdowns on the 201 freeway, really eastbound mostly, from 8400 west over to 7200 west, scattered and light in that area. Did the heavy rain cause a leak in your home? S&S Roofing offers protection with high-quality roofing, expert repairs, and durable materials. Visit snsroofingutah.com for your free quote today. Cormac Bone in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Some of Utah's most well-known families announcing major donations today to preserve the Great Salt Lake. But with their donations, a warning and a plea to all Utahns to step up and do more to save the ailing lake.
Each of us has a role to play by reducing outdoor water use, growing more drought-resistant crops and landscapes, finding new ways to conserve water, and ensuring more water flows to the lake.
The time is 1 o'clock on Monday, April 13th. It's midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Coming up, Utah's ongoing drought. We'll get more details on new efforts to save the Great Salt Lake and to conserve water in other parts of the state. Plus,
Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. Will not have. There is no way that they're going to get. They still want it.
after hours of negotiation, no agreement for lasting peace between the U.S. and Iran. And today, American military forces have implemented a blockade on the Strait of Hormuz. Details coming up. But first, our top stories. Police say a dead body was found in the Jordanelle Reservoir this morning. The Washington County Sheriff's Office responded to a call around 7:45 where they found a deceased male wearing a life jacket. They say he may have been paddleboarding, and they believe that his death was an accident. We'll continue to bring you the latest. Our top national story from ABC News. President Trump has issued a new threat against Iran, saying the Navy will attack any of its ships that come close to the U.S. blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. News Nation's Robert Sherman has more.
Cranking the pressure up hour by hour. First, that blockade coming into effect, and now the latest warning being handed down by the White House here. This is what the president had to say, effectively acknowledging that much of Iran's Navy has been destroyed, except for a few of those fast ships that Iran has. Going on to say, if any of these ships come anywhere close to our blockade, they will be immediately eliminated using the same system of kill that we have used against the drug dealers on boats at sea.
We will have more on the blockade in about 10 minutes here on Midday. Other national stories KSL is following. President Trump is seeing some backlash after posting an AI-generated image of himself looking like Jesus and healing someone who is sick. At the White House today, he said he didn't realize that the post looked like Jesus.
I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better.
President Trump has faced other criticism from the Catholic community after he attacked Pope Leo for comments about his immigration policy and the war with Iran, calling the Pope soft on crime. National Park Service back to allowing Rainbow Pride Flag Day to fly at New York City's Stonewall National Monument.
Earlier this year, gay rights groups filed a federal lawsuit challenging the removal of the rainbow banner at the site of the historic 1969 Greenwich Village riot that touched off the modern gay rights movement. At the time, the National Park Service cited a policy that only allowed certain non-agency flags. But in a new court filing, officials say it's been agreed the pride flag will once again fly, joining the U.S. flag and the Park Service flag at the Stonewall National Monument.
ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow up by 114 points, about 0.25%, sitting at 48,030. S&P up by 42 points. The NASDAQ up by 193, nearly a full percent. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Ricky?
Couple of problems out there. We did have UHP doing a slowdown on southbound I-15 through Murray, and even though it was going pretty well, the delays have cleared out, but there was a crash in the backup, so prior to 53rd South. And now a new accident on the northbound side of I-15. Looks like maybe 3 vehicles involved, and this is just after 33rd South. It's trying to get moved to the right, but it is causing some delay. Spring has blossomed in Box Elder County. History, recreation, and wildlife, and excellent dining and shopping await you. Learn more at visitboxeldercounty.com. Produced in cooperation with the Utah Office of Tourism. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
40% chance of showers across the Wasatch Front today, 30% chance tomorrow, but the thing to really watch out for is Thursday. 80% chance of showers, and it could get cold enough that we could see some snowflakes down here in the valley. Right now, 54 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
Any Hour Services free furnace sale is going on right now. If you haven't scheduled your free estimate yet, do it now. Call Any Hour Services today or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Call Trajan today at 801-207-9900. That's 801-207-9900.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Teaching the Constitution isn't as simple as it used to be.
We're much more cautious.
Some Utah teachers say even civics lessons can be misunderstood.
I'm more cognizant of what I say.
Not fear, but anxiety.
Yet they believe this moment matters more than ever.
If we don't give them the space to learn civil discourse, where are they going to learn it?
Peter Rosen shares why educators say the future of our democracy starts in the classroom. Utah celebrates America 250 tonight at 10 on KSL.
Thanks for tuning into Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. A major philanthropic announcement today. Some of the most well-known families in Utah are coming together to help save the Great Salt Lake. Let's get details on this effort with KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson. She joins me live in the studio. So, Heather, who is involved in this effort?
So it's actually being spearheaded by Josh Romney, the son of Utah Senator Mitt Romney, former senator. He said about 9 months ago he learned about the dire situation surrounding the Great Salt Lake. And once he started getting involved, he just got more and more entrenched in how they could possibly solve this issue.
We've already lost about half of our lake. About half of the water that we wish we had in the Great Salt Lake is no longer here. And looking forward, it's on a really, really bad path. A few more winters like this, and we could see dramatic, irreversible effects at the Great Salt Lake if we don't intervene. The good news is 80% of the cause of decline is human caused. The reason that's good news is because we can fix that. And there's so many areas right now that we really can have a huge impact for a small amount of money and for a small investment and for small changes in our livelihood. We can have a huge impact.
He's now created an organization called Great Salt Lake Rising, and many of the board members all have last names you may recognize. Now 3 of them, the Miller family, the Marriotts, and the Magalettes, which own the parent company of Maverick, each have pledged to donate $10 million to the cause. Greg Miller from the Larry H. Miller Company explained why they felt compelled to be part of this.
We're making this commitment because we believe the Great Salt Lake is essential to the future of Utah. Its health affects our air, our water, our economy, our wildlife, our communities, and our quality of life. Protecting the lake is a priority in many ways. It is a community priority. It is an economic priority, and it is a responsibility that we all share. For our family, this gift reflects the values that have guided us for a long time. We care deeply about helping communities thrive. We care deeply about long-term stewardship, and we believe philanthropy should help address important challenges in ways that bring people together and create lasting impact.
All right, so first of all, Heather, how is this money going to help? And secondly, how is all of us getting involved going to help?
Well, so Romney said no one ever in the world has saved a saline lake before that's in decline. So it's a huge lift, but it's possible if everyone takes action. Karen Marriott, who serves on the board of her family's J.W. and Alice S. Marriott Foundation, explained further.
Research shows, based on normal snowfall years, that within the next 5 years, if we don't do something, the lake is expected to fall into collapse, exposing a dangerous amount of sediment that turns into dust that will have serious impacts on our health, our snowpack, our economy, and our wildlife. Each of us has a role to play by reducing outdoor water use, growing more drought-resistant crops and landscapes, finding new ways to conserve water, and ensuring more water flows to the lake.
And Drew Magalette, a board member of FJ Management, which is Maverick's parent company, says that while today's major donations make a difference, they can't do it alone.
An investment in the lake is perhaps the most important investment any business in the state of Utah can make right now. More water in the lake means fewer employee sick days from dust, retained property values, and a Wasatch Front that not only keeps the best talent home, but attracts the best and brightest from beyond our mountains. While the donation from Maverick is large, it cannot be the only one. It will take efforts and contributions of all sizes, from businesses to save the lake, from farmers to pharmacists, from ranchers to realtors. Every contribution or conservation measure brings us one step closer to accomplishing something that has never been done before. And so, while we celebrate this amazing feat of partnership and philanthropy, I want to end with this one ask to the business community of Utah. Join us in saving the Great Salt Lake. Help us save our adventures.
And as you may recall, the Trump administration recently said they would commit $1 billion federal dollars to the issue, but Congress has yet to approve it.
All right. Thank you, Heather. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson joining me in the studio with more on this massive donation to save the Great Salt Lake. While those of us on the Wasatch Front may look to the Great Salt Lake for indications on how the ongoing drought is going, the water issues are affecting other parts of the state. In eastern Utah, some are already asking folks to hold off on watering as they look towards a rather dry and bleak summer. Angela Hawkins is a public information officer for Uintah County, and she says the county is already planning to pull back on regular watering for county-owned buildings, choosing to do one deep watering a week instead of more frequent waterings.
Uintah County owns several properties, including the county building, the cemetery, and some miscellaneous other buildings around, but it doesn't include the rec center or the parks, which are managed by Uintah Special Service District 1, and they do the rec center, the parks, the golf course. So ours is actually quite a bit more minimal than what would be considered other county public spaces. But it would be the cemetery and our county buildings and the other county buildings and just the grass that we do have.
She says it's already been rather warm and spring-like in the Uintah Basin, much like the rest of the state. But she's hoping the mild temps will continue just a bit longer so things don't burn up so quickly.
We are having an early spring, as everyone knows, and so it's already looking really beautiful. Sometimes our month of May in the Uintah Basin can still feel very much like winter or early spring, but this one has been beautiful, and we have had a couple of storms. Our director of cemeteries and his crew are managing it very well, but they're also still following that same deep watering in the evening or early morning so that it is absorbing and not just evaporating in the heat of the day. So we're hoping for this cooler weather to last a few more weeks, and then it will still look beautiful for the month of May.
Hawkins tells KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis that other partners in Uinta County are also choosing to pull back on regular watering. This means grass may appear drier or less green than usual, but this change in watering will help keep turf, trees, and landscaping healthy and sustained. While there aren't any water restrictions for businesses and residents in the county, local leaders are asking everyone to do their part and limit their water usage now, so the situation doesn't become any more dire as the summer drags on.
We are really grateful. Some of our community has already said we're holding off to water until May. They're also following our suggestions of deep watering. The USU Extension out here has a great program where they will come and help you decide what native, drought-tolerant, high desert plants are available. We're also looking into that, and we're really grateful for the community coming together to help us with this situation.
Angela Hawkins is the Public Information Officer for Uinta County. Utah State University Extension offers water-wise guides for the various landscapes throughout Utah, including along the Wasatch Front, the Wasatch Back, and the Uinta Basin. We'll have a link to those guides on our website, kslnewsradio.com. Stay with us. We'll be back with more in just 60 seconds.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
War in Iran.
President Trump's threats of blocking the Strait of Hormuz now a reality. The president confirming that the blockade went into effect at 10 this morning Eastern Time. It comes after peace talks between the U.S. and Iran fizzled over the weekend. Now, American military forces are set to target vessels using Iranian ports, all in the hopes of cutting off Iran's economic activities involving oil and other shipments that often sail through the strait. ABC's Karen Travers has the latest.
President Trump says the U.S. blockade in the Strait of Hormuz has begun, the military blocking ships attempting to enter or exit Iranian ports there. Asked what his end game is, to force Iran back to the negotiating table or reopen the strait to bring down gas prices, the president said it's both.
We can't let a country blackmail or extort the world, because that's what they're doing. They're really blackmailing the world. We're not going to let that happen.
Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
ABC News Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz says Iran has already threatened to target U.S. ships in the area.
The U.S. military says the blockade will be enforced against vessels of all nations attempting to enter or exit Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. forces stress they will not impede the navigation of boats coming to or leaving from non-Iranian ports. It's not clear how the blockade will be enforced or whether ships moving within the strait will allow searches from the U.S., or, of course, whether any ships will even enter the strait.
The Pentagon says they will not block foreign ships that use the strait. The United Kingdom saying today that they will not support the blockade. Former NATO Supreme Allied Commander, retired General Wesley Clark, says it remains to be seen how the Iranians respond.
They would like an end to this on their terms, but their terms are totally unacceptable to us. So I think they can play rope-a-dope with us and just hang back and see what happens. Now, if they do attack our ships that are implementing this blockade that's just gone into effect, that's an act of war against us, and we would naturally respond.
But Karen Travers says the response from Iran is bound to be intense and severe as the country views this move as a violation of the ceasefire agreement that's supposed to be in effect right now.
The president said last night that the reason he is doing this is because we're not going to let Iran make money on selling oil. No surprise, Iran is strongly pushing back, saying that if there are any ships in the region that approach the Strait of Hormuz, any military vessels, they will be met with a severe response because they will consider this a violation of the ceasefire that is in effect right now.
While the shaky ceasefire holds, the blockade could change that. And in Lebanon, fighting continues today between Iranian-backed Hezbollah and Israelis. ABC's Marcus Moore is in Beirut.
It is very much still an active fight from what we are being told and what we know about the most recent strikes that have occurred in southern Lebanon. Both Israel and Hezbollah have said that they have carried out strikes. Israel saying that it's been focusing on Hezbollah's anti-tank capabilities in recent strikes in southern Lebanon, while Hezbollah says that it has targeted Israeli troops in the south.
Outside the Oval Office today, President Trump suggested that the U.S. is still willing to negotiate a resolution with Iran, but did not go into detail. After the break, a federal court has dismissed the president's defamation lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal. We will get analysis on the decision, plus a refresher on the standard of proof that public officials have in these cases. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio. It's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Ricky, what's happening?
We do have delays on northbound I-15 right through the heart of the valley. They're due to a crash on northbound I-15 after 33rd South as you're approaching the I-80 201 junction. And now the vehicles have been moved out of traffic to the right, but delays linger into Midvale, into Murray. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Are you set for summer? Just think how much better you could look in 60 days if you could take off 20 to 30 pounds. I've been telling you for the last couple of years about Salt Lake City Fat Loss, and this great program has really helped me take off the weight. It's helped me try to keep off the weight, and that's because it's different than other programs. I mean, one of the major concerns for folks is, hey, I've taken the weight off so many times and I just gain it back. Well, this is a doctor-developed 60-day program. It's all natural, no injections or medications. You just eat regular food that you buy from the grocery store, which means it also costs you a lot less than other programs. You don't have to pay for breakfast bars or meals or even for a nutritionist. Plus, they have a great app that keeps you accountable and allows you to answer questions at any time. I've lost more than 40 pounds. Many of their clients lose up to a pound per day. Learn more at slcfatloss.com, slcfatloss.com. Find out today if you are a good candidate for this program, slcfatloss.com.
Does your home have peeling paint or faded colors? Don't procrastinate. You need to protect your home with quality paint and a worry-free process, so make an appointment with CertaPro Painters. You quickly get a free estimate that's detailed, easy to understand, and then their trusted local professionals will bring fresh color to your home with quality craftsmanship at the right price. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Everything's in my back.
is dark.
High in the alpine wilderness.
The ridgeline is imposing, the escarpments, the drops.
A place where survival,
it's dark now, I have nothing,
is never certain. In 2011, an Australian hiker vanished.
Did he really make a wrong turn, or did he decide that he was done?
You have done this walk too, but this is your backyard.
The mountains have decided to keep him.
Find and follow the podcast series Uinta Triangle, wherever you get your podcasts.
You are listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. A victory today for the Wall Street Journal in a $10 billion defamation lawsuit filed against the Journal by President Trump. A federal judge dismissing the lawsuit, which the president's attorneys filed over their reporting of the president's ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Joining me to break down the case and its impact, Dr. Ed Carter, who is an attorney and communications professor at Brigham Young University. And tell us more about this case.
Well, President Trump claimed that his reputation was harmed by a publication in the Wall Street Journal that covered a story about some material that was in the Epstein files that was turned over to the House of Representatives.
Okay. And what was the Wall Street Journal's claims about this?
So the Journal, like a lot of other news organizations, reported on a book that was given to Jeffrey Epstein at his 50th birthday. And the book contained cards and notes. And one of the greetings was purported to be from President Trump about the Journal described it as body material. It was a line drawing with some words that were somewhat vulgar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so the judge, in rejecting this or dismissing this lawsuit, what was the judge's feelings?
So the district court judge said that President Trump had failed to allege actual malice, meaning that he hadn't properly claimed that the Journal acted with knowledge that the material they published was false or that they were reckless. And that's a legal protection for not only journalists, but speakers in society. Free expression generally benefits from this idea that public figures and public officials have a high standard to meet in order to win a defamation lawsuit. And in fact, President Trump himself has benefited from that same rule in other cases.
Mm-hmm. So this would be much different than if a private individual had filed this lawsuit.
Well, it is. Yeah, private individuals can protect their reputations, I think we could say, somewhat more easily in court because, for more than 60 years, the Supreme Court has said that public officials and public figures have some advantages that private individuals don't have, and they also have some responsibilities to the public, and that means scrutiny of their conduct, and therefore there's a higher standard for them to win on a defamation claim. And the real purpose of that is just to encourage debate, discussion. In a democracy, we need scrutiny of public officials and people in influential places, and that benefits all of us.
Yeah. Talk to me for a minute about the bigger picture when it comes to media and being able to publish things about public officials. What do you think this says about the right for journalists to publish these types of materials?
So it is an important, I think, statement of that right, because journalism at its heart is about serving a watchdog function on government and also other powerful people and entities in society. And so President Trump's complaint had alleged that the material was fake, but fake is not really a legal term at all. It's more of a political or maybe public relations propaganda kind of a claim. And so what we have here is really a news organization that, by all accounts, acted in good faith to publish something that they researched and reported on heavily, had multiple sources with regard to its accuracy on a matter of public concern that was legitimate for discussion. And that's the kind of thing that generally in the United States we've determined should be protected from defamation claims and censorship and fear mongering and public attacks and stuff like that. And the reality is President Trump, just like anybody else, can express his own opinion about it. He can disagree, he can dispute it, he can claim whatever he wants about the Journal's story. That's also his free speech right. But the court here today, I think, made an important statement that he can't shut down the Wall Street Journal.
This isn't the first time the president has filed a lawsuit against journalists. And even though he did not succeed in this attempt and the Wall Street Journal prevailed, what kind of impact do you think this has on journalism itself?
Well, the first thing to note is that the judge today said that the Wall Street Journal had won its claim or its motion to dismiss at this point, but that President Trump could refile the case if he has some additional evidence of actual malice. And so he has an opportunity to allege that they did act with knowledge of falsity or recklessness if he has that information. So that still might be an ongoing issue, but I think that going forward, one really important thing is that we're always balancing individual reputation versus free expression. And generally speaking, the marketplace of ideas is a better resolution than some kind of liability for defamation in a case like this, because the marketplace theory is that the truth will rise to the top if we allow debate, discussion, analysis, and journalism plays a really important part of that. So I think going forward, a message is that journalism is a legitimate part of society. It's not all fake news. There are real people doing good work in the public interest, and that we should honor and respect that.
Dr. Ed Carter is an attorney and a professor of communications at Brigham Young University. In a social media post a short time ago, the president commented on the dismissal, saying the judge asked for his powerful case to be refiled. He says it's not a termination. He says the judge suggested a refiling and that they will be refiling an updated lawsuit on or before April 27th. It's 1:30 midday at KSL News Radio. I'm Maria Shilaos. Some of the stories we are watching this hour. Health Matters on Midday. We are taking a closer look at the health benefits of sunscreen and how it works to protect your skin during those hot, sunny summer days. Wildfire cameras starting to pop up around the state. We'll get details on how they track new fires faster than humans. And KSL traffic, Ricky.
Crashes on both north and southbound I-15 in Salt Lake County. Maria?
KSL's top local stories in 1 minute.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franz. And a Texas man charged with traveling from Texas to California to allegedly throw a Molotov cocktail into OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's home. That according to court records unsealed today. Video surveillance capturing suspect Daniel Moreno-Gama, according to court records, allegedly throwing that Molotov cocktail over the fence. ABC's Alex Stone has more.
What they are alleging in this is that Moreno-Gama, that he traveled from Spring, Texas, in the Houston area, to San Francisco over anger about AI and anger towards Sam Altman, that he allegedly had a list of other CEOs and executives at other AI companies that he was targeting as well.
In a separate case, 2 suspects were arrested Sunday after San Francisco police say someone fired shots from a car hitting Altman's home. President Trump says the U.S. military is imposing their own blockade over the Strait of Hormuz after talks between the U.S. and Iran broke down. This is ABC News.
KSL's top local story. A Utah man has been taken to jail after he was accused of beating up a driver of a car that police say he crashed into. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has details.
We're learning this happened on Pony Express Parkway on Friday. New arrest documents say after the wheel of the suspect's pickup truck rubbed against another car's bumper, police say the truck then sped around and started throwing bottles at that other car. The truck driver is then accused of stopping in the middle of the road, then getting out and punching the other driver in the face multiple times. Police say 27-year-old Daniel Carnitas was taken into custody just hours later.
According to police, Carnitas allegedly told them he did it because the other driver had a smirk on his face. Other local stories KSL is following. A Salt Lake City bar got an unpleasant surprise when a pipe burst downtown. KSL News Radio's Cameron Elliott has the story.
Photos and videos from Quarters SLC shows an employee in the basement bar assessing the damage. In some parts of the bar, the water is ankle deep. It comes after a city water main burst nearby and came seeping through Quarters' walls, threatening the company's pinball and retro arcade game machines. In an Instagram post, Quarters management said they were joined by a cleanup company to help the flooding and dry it out. They're working now to make sure the bar is suitable to reopen, but they don't know when that will be. In the meantime, they're inviting customers to go to their Sugar House location to get their pinball fix. Cameron Elliott, KSL News Radio.
Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow is up by 173 points, more than 0.25%, sitting at 48,090. S&P up by 49 points. The Nasdaq up by 218 points. That's nearly a full percent. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU, love where you bank. Anything going on, Ricky?
Yeah, we've got some problems out there. I think UHP was doing another slowdown, this time westbound on the 21st South Freeway, approaching and passing Redwood Road. There are still some delays left over from that. An accident northbound I-15 near 33rd South on the right, backing traffic into Murray, and a crash on the southbound side of I-15 prior to 53rd South on the shoulder. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Taking a look at the forecast for the Wasatch Front, headed for a high today of 59, staying near 60 for the next few days, but then a big dip on Thursday where we actually have a chance of a few snowflakes if it's cold enough on Thursday. The high on Thursday, only 56 degrees. Right now, mostly cloudy, 53 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.
We volunteer to join you in the car. Get news and weather at 102.7 FM during the most important part of your day.
Andy and Amanda, each morning between 5 and 9 on KSL News Radio.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Every year, the America First Charitable Foundation Diaper Drive provides essential goods to thousands of families. And you can help by dropping off diapers at any America First branch or by securely contributing funds online. Together, we can make life a little easier for those who need it most. So please visit americafirst.com to donate or to learn more today. The America First Charitable Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation. Federal tax ID number 84-256886. Donations are tax deductible to the extent allowed by law.
You are listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. As it starts to look more like summer and we are spending more time outdoors, it's time to restock the sunscreen. Had some really warm temperatures already this season, and while it may be a little cooler right now, that heat will inevitably come back. So why not get the sunscreen now before everyone else does? In this segment of Health Matters on Midday, I'm joined by Dr. Richard Ferguson, president of the Black Physicians of Utah, to talk about the importance of using sunscreen for health and not just cosmetics.
Sun protection, it is a health issue. It's not just a cosmetic issue. So protecting skin from UV exposure lowers the risk of sunburn. All right, so that's one of the first things, and reduces your risk for skin cancer. And it also, which we have a large cosmetic industry in Utah. You will need less cosmetic treatments, Botox, getting your skin tucked and pulled, if you are able to stop the end effect of sun exposure, which is premature aging of the skin. So everyone, I just want to emphasize this, everyone needs sun protection, not just in Utah. Everyone needs it. That even means those with darker skin tones like myself. I'm talking to you, black and brown people out there in Utah. You also need to put on sunscreen, and I'm saying at least an SPF 15 and higher. Darker skin has more melanin, but it does not eliminate sun damage risk. So, I'm often just echoing and preaching what dermatologists have taught me. Sunscreen for everyone, and particularly our babies, even though they don't have a lot of skin exposure. This is often when we get a lot of exposure if we don't have a parent. Just sometimes it's just putting on clothes, long sleeve shirts, thin, long sleeved and long pants clothing for our children, and covering their face with sunscreen, something that of course would be hypoallergenic. We got to protect our kiddos because they often don't have a choice in how it goes on, right? So we got to protect them when they're of the age until they know that it needs to be applied. So that's one thing. But remember, darker skin tones, sun exposure can also worsen hyperpigmentation and dark spots that people have. So now to go into sunscreen. Sunscreen matters, but it should be the right kind and used the right way.
Right. I was going to say, are they all made equally? But they're not, are they?
They're not. I'm actually my wife who tends to be, we like to say, rather atopic. It's a term we use when someone is very sensitive to allergens and pollens and antigens in the air, certain chemicals. She often reacts to certain sunscreens. Actually, she ended up getting a rash, and she had to put steroid on her hands and her legs just from spraying on the sunscreen. So she's trying to protect herself, and then she ends up getting a reaction from it. But that's specific to her. So I would say is I recommend a broad spectrum, water resistant. And usually if it's water resistant, that means you have to reapply every 90 minutes. Okay, so it doesn't mean I just put on once and I'm fine, or I put on once and go running and I'm fine. Sweat, water, eventually will start to remove some of that. So remember, reapplication. I say for most everybody in Utah, you should try to do an SPF 30 or higher. Apply it 15 minutes before going out. So the thing is, some people, they're outside already and then like, oh, let me put some sunscreen on. Well, you're not getting your full protection and you're already exposed. You shouldn't do it in the sun. So I recommend do it before you go outside and wait a little bit before getting in the water, at least 15 minutes before going outside or going in the water. And reapply every 2 hours, 90 minutes to 2 hours after swimming or sweating. I recommend 90 minutes. It even says it on the can when you buy it. Sprays are fine. Sometimes I'm a bigger fan of actually the lotion. And an average adult needs about 1 ounce. So that's about almost a shot glass for a full body coverage. And remember, sun protection is not just for the beach. UV exposure happens on cloudy days. We will have cloudy days. And in everyday life, walking the dog, driving, sports, yard work. I use sunscreen in the winter, so hopefully people have been doing that. Sunscreen is important, and I keep it in my car. I just get a little $4 travel one. That's the generic, like Kroger, Walgreens brand, SPF 50, and I just keep it in my car so that I don't have an excuse to not protect my skin, so I can stop premature aging and risk of cancer. And just general being uncomfortable with the sunburn. You can't enjoy being outside with family and friends if you're putting on aloe vera. So I think the quick take home is melanin for our darker skin folks. It's helpful, but it's not a force field. You still need a protection. Put sunscreen on before you go out, not after you get hot. And sun protection, once again, prevents skin cancer, sunburn, and unnecessary dark spots.
Yeah, I think you brought up some really good points because I think for me, I'm really good when I'm going to go out recreating. I'm going out for a bike ride or a hike or something or laying by the pool. I'm really good about putting on the sunscreen. It's when I'm going out to pull a few weeds and I'm thinking, I just need to grab these few weeds. And then suddenly I've been outside for a couple hours that I'm not so great.
Yeah, you got to remember area where you're exposed. And if you're not going to be necessarily by the beach, and let's say you don't have sunscreen, go for thin, breathable, long sleeve, long pants clothing as if you were going on a hike. Because then all you have to do is address your head, neck, and your hands. And that's mostly it. So that's what I would say is protect yourself, keep it on hand. It's affordable. I don't push any particular brand per se. I try to tell if zinc oxide is okay, but some people don't like that. It's fine to have those without it. That's more concerning if you're going somewhere near a coral reef. Mm-hmm. There's some recommendation on certain sunscreens to use so you don't damage the reef. Other than that, it's not almost everything that's out there isn't going to cause some type of long-term problem with your physiologic system. Once again, 30 and higher, keep it around, keep small ones in your purse, in your car, in your gym bag, and reapply.
Dr. Richard Ferguson is the president of the Black Physicians of Utah. Inevitably, you might have gotten a few really bad sunburns over the year or just have everyday sun damage. Dr. Ferguson recommends that you check your skin regularly or have a loved one help and schedule some time for a full body check with your doctor or dermatologist. Midday continues in just 60 seconds.
Celebrate National Serger Month with super deals on all sewing machines and sergers at Dave's Bernina in St. George and Provo.
0% interest for 24 months on purchases over $1,000.
Purchase a new Bernina L890, L860, or L850 model
and receive special pricing plus an option for a free or discounted Bernina Serger Studio. The world-famous Bernina 990 is on sale and includes thousands of dollars worth of free add-ons. Take advantage of 20% off Bernina Serger accessories.
Amazing bargains on previously owned machines while they last that come with warranties.
Dave's Bernina has made a special purchase of previously owned Bernina 330s for only $499 and a limited supply of event machines, new out-of-the-box Bernina 770 and 790 Pro machines with full warranty.
Dave's Bernina, 691 East St. George Boulevard and 2017 North 550 West in Provo. Dave'sBernina.com.
As we inch closer to the hot summer months, we are already looking ahead to potential wildfires. And in many parts of rural Utah, it can be especially hard to track new fires before they become out of control. The Utah Education Network is working to help with monitoring wildfires by installing 40 cameras on mountaintops across the state. Jeff Egley with the network says these cameras can detect fire and smoke before any humans can.
We're looking to get this initial set of cameras in place, hopefully within the first couple of years here. And so we're standing up the network and we'll start installing cameras fairly soon. These cameras are going out into the outer reaches, into those places where they're not reported as quickly. And so first focus is not as much along the urban corridor as it is in some of those outer reaches where they need notification so they can respond more quickly and not allow a fire to burn for some time before it's reported. And so as these cameras go in, I liken them to the fire lookout towers that many people are aware of and were staffed. Now establishing cameras on mountaintops at existing communication sites where they can provide visibility 360 degrees and 24/7 and monitor for fires. And then as they're detected, they can report in and hopefully provide quicker reporting to first responders on both the federal, state, and local levels.
Egley tells KSL News Radio's McKenna Rodriguez that it'll take roughly 5 years to get everything up and running.
Yeah, we're just getting started. So we have a test camera up to west of Milford on a mountaintop right now. That's our test camera. And then our next camera will be going up in the very northwest corner of Utah. And then this spring, summer, and fall, we'll begin rolling them out. So we're really just on the initial stages of getting ready to start deploying cameras. In the meantime, this winter, we worked with UDOT, working with us on identifying cameras around the state of theirs that can also be added to this dashboard and view to increase visibility. As we were looking at a map for the western states, Utah kind of been a donut hole in terms of wildfire cameras in the West. Nevada, Idaho, Oregon, California have done a pretty good job of getting these cameras installed, and now we're working with our partners both on a federal and state level to do the same here. So we're really just in the initial stages of getting these cameras deployed.
He says the cameras will use existing infrastructure to report back to responders.
We're working with established communication sites that would be used for public safety, for example, that are on mountaintops. So using existing towers where we can get network connectivity and then backhaul that connectivity to Salt Lake City. And so, we're using existing mountaintop tower locations around the state that have been identified by the Bureau of Land Management where they can provide the greatest impact.
The state had over 1,000 wildfires just last year, which burned 164,000 acres. With the amplifying drought and low snowpack this year, we could be in for a crazy wildfire season. As we move into the summer months, you might be inclined to take your pets out more, but if a medical issue happens to your pet, do you know what to do? Do you know how to do CPR on your furry loved one? We'll get details just after the break. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Ricky?
We are still dealing with some delays left over from an earlier crash on northbound I-15 near 33rd South. And even though it's mostly out of traffic on the shoulder, still causing a little bit of backup. We also have a crash in Utah County. This is southbound I-15 going from Linden to Orem at about 1600 north, now to the shoulder. While you're planning your day, plan for comfort too with the Good Feet store. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Looking for something fun to win this week? Head to ksl.com/win and enter now. We're giving you the chance to score tickets to the Disney Worlds Collide concert tour or cheer on Real Salt Lake with tickets to a variety of games this season. It's quick, easy, and free to enter. So don't miss out. Visit ksl.com/win today. ksl.com/win and see what you could be winning this week. Good luck.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hi, this is Derek Overstreet, president of the New Millennium Group and co-host of Stop Working, Start Living with KSL News Radio. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could retire 3 to 5 years earlier than you thought possible? The things you could do, the loved ones you could spend time with, the memories that you could create. That's what our team at the New Millennium Group does. We'll walk you through the entire process every step of the way. If you'd like to get a copy of the 5-step proprietary plan that will help you retire 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible, give us a shout right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com. Listen, most of our listeners right now have a tax problem, not a money problem. There's not enough money in Social Security Medicare as it is. Let us show you how you can significantly reduce your taxes. That's 888-999-6370. 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com.
We want to talk about SOTA, diet, and nutrition. SOTA stands for state of the art. And Andy and I both let go of massive amounts of weight. You more than me.
70 pounds in 5 months.
And I did 37 pounds in 3 months. And what worked for me was so many things. Talking to a nutritionist every week and having her tell me what to eat. I can do as I'm told.
Yeah.
But I have no clue where to begin.
And I needed the help too. It's just food. There's no pills, no injections. So you learn how to both let go of the weight and then how to keep it off.
So SOTA diet and nutrition is a great place to start. But if you started with pills or medications and you find yourself starting to gain some weight back, SOTA diet and nutrition is a great way to learn how to have a new relationship with food to go into the future.
You can talk with a nutritionist by calling 866-800-SOTA, S-O-T-A, or you can go to their website, sotadietandnutrition.com.
Join now and your partner joins for free. 2 people, real accountability for the price of 1.
Join us for a short time to have results that last a lifetime.
The Children's Center Utah provides a unique service in our communities by meeting the needs of very young children and their caregivers. Here's another Little Minds Big Hope message from Dr. Jennifer Mitchell, the Children's Center Vice President of Clinical Strategy and Innovation.
Did you know when young children act out, they may be trying to communicate something they don't yet have the words for? Behavior is often a signal that a child needs support. Find out more at childrencenterutah.org.
911, tell me exactly what happened.
My son and his wife and their 2 children haven't responded.
Susan Powell disappeared on a snowy morning in 2009.
Your wife is missing, Josh.
Yeah, but
And you want to think about it for a couple of days?
The podcast, Cold, has gone deep on these kinds of stories.
I'd had this overwhelming feeling that he had done something to her already.
Clearly, something happened on that couch because he cleaned it.
Find and follow Cold wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Many of us have emergency first aid kits, both in our homes and in our cars to protect our families, but we don't often think about our furry family members when preparing for an emergency. The Red Cross of Utah now has a free first aid app to help you plan, and it's an important thing to have as we go through Pet First Aid Awareness Month. Benjamin Donner is the executive director of the American Red Cross Central and Southern Utah chapter, and he tells me this kind of emergency planning is important for families.
Oftentimes, especially when we've got like the Great Shakeout and other emergency drills, a lot of times we focus on, as my daughter would say, our 2-legged family members. And sometimes we forget that these 4-legged family members, they rely 100% on us. And they don't have the ability of being prepared, et cetera, as we can. So it's critically important that just as much as we prepare for ourselves, we want to make sure that we've thought through and prepared on what would happen, what would we need to know if there were an emergency or even like a medical emergency with our pets.
So what does that look like? How do we prepare?
Well, a couple things. So in that personal emergency preparedness, for ourselves, our families, our pets, making sure that we have those necessary items, just as we would in like a go bag for our families. We want to make sure we've got pet food, we've thought through that they need water, et cetera, in those kits for them to be able to survive in that short period as well. If pets have certain medications or anything else that in a moment's notice that we could just grab that pack and out we go. So that's something to think about today. If we haven't already thought about it, we want to think through that today and make sure that those go bags are up to date and as soon as possible. Now, with regards to kind of pet first aid, pets don't often tell you kind of what's going on. I joke about that, but they're good at hiding challenges that they have. And so knowing what to do in the moment that, say, there's a choking emergency or any kind of medical emergency, having thought through that ahead of time, once again, is so critically important, as they sometimes can't fix the challenge on their own, whether it's, like I said, choking or if CPR is needed. We all talk about getting CPR certified, but when was the last time we thought, well, do I know how to perform CPR on my favorite 4-legged family member? Maybe, maybe not.
What does that look like? I can't even imagine CPR. My husband's given one of our animals mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, but I don't know if he would know what to do when it comes to CPR.
I can honestly say I am not a pet CPR instructor. Human CPR I'm very, very good at. But something that I can offer, one, we have a pet first aid app that goes through all of those aspects. And the reason why I direct individuals there or redcross.org is all of our animals are different sizes, different, canine. My daughter is a veterinary assistant. And as I was talking with her about this over the weekend, she was saying, well, if it's a cat, you do this. If it's a dog, and then depending on the size of the dog, as we have a couple sizes in our home, and it's something that I would recommend anyone who has a pet, take a moment, go out to redcross.org. There's so much great information. Download that Pet First Aid app, because in that moment that you see your favorite pet there struggling or having a challenge, knowing that already and having already prepared, what am I going to do in that moment? So believe me, it's so worth it to make sure that you've thought that through ahead of time.
And then what does a first aid kit for your pet look like? I mean, what's in there that's different than in your regular first aid kit that you have in your car?
Well, a couple things. Some are very similar. So a basic kit, you've got gloves, gauze, the elastic bandage that you could wrap. I'm trying to recall the name of that bandaging, but being able to, say, wrap up a leg or any kind of injury, making sure that you've got clean cloths, flashlight, emergency contact numbers for, say, a 24-hour veterinary hospital. You know, if we thought through that, if it's the middle of the night and there's a problem, our favorite veterinary clinics, they might not be open. So knowing where is the closest emergency vet hospital, what is their number? In my own home, we've got that as a magnet right on our fridge if something were to happen. And then also something that not everybody does, but having, say, a pet carrier for smaller animals. Obviously, if you've got a 100-pound dog, it's probably not going to be as easy. But for smaller animals, if you have some kind of carrier, sometimes if they're injured, being able to have them in an enclosed space and feel protected there en route to, say, an emergency facility, that can always be something very helpful as well.
Benjamin Donner is the executive director of the American Red Cross Central and Southern Utah chapter. Coming up on Midday, we'll get a preview of all the construction that's been going on at Temple Square. A new visitor center is set to open next month. Carol Makita will join me with details. Stay with us.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Year-over-year home sales continue to fall nationwide just as the traditional home buying and home selling season gets underway, and the prices continue to climb.
As long as supply remains constrained, I think it's reasonable to expect that on a national basis, we'll still see a modest increase in home prices. The increases are not as large as they had been, simply because I think in part we have these affordability constraints.
The time is 2 o'clock on Monday, April 13th. It's midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Coming up, we'll go in depth on housing, affordability challenges, why sales are struggling right now, and what some Utah cities are doing to try and make housing more accessible. Also this hour,
do I have to pay this bill or can I get diapers for my child? You know, we see it frequently on social media, families that are reaching out for assistance.
Soon-to-be moms facing even more trouble right now as prices continue to rise for all sorts of things, including baby supplies. We'll get some tips from you on how new moms could save money caring for their newborns. But first, our top stories. The U.S. military is now blockading ships navigating the Strait of Hormuz. The Pentagon says that they are only targeting ships that use the Iranian ports, and foreign ships won't be targeted. Here's President Trump on the blockade.
It's going on. Right now, there's no fighting. Right now, we have a blockade. They're doing no business. I didn't like seeing boats come out if they were doing business with Iran, but if they weren't, no boats came out. So now Iran is doing absolutely no business, and we're going to keep it that way very easily.
This as peace talks between the U.S. and Iran seem to be stalled. President Trump says he needs Iran to reopen the strait and relinquish their nuclear program. Other national stories KSL is following. President Trump is facing some criticism after comments about Pope Leo on social media, saying that he was soft on crime. This after Pope Leo criticized the war with Iran and the president's immigration policy. ABC's Karen Travers has the latest.
President Trump said he won't apologize for his criticism of Pope Leo, and he doubled down on his view that the Pope shouldn't be speaking out on policy issues, including the U.S. war with Iran.
No, I don't, because Pope Leo said things that are wrong. He was very much against what I'm doing with regard to Iran, and you cannot have a nuclear Iran. Pope Leo would not be happy with the end result. You have hundreds of millions of people dead.
Pope Leo said Monday he has, quote, no fear of the Trump administration, and said he's called to speak out loudly about the message of the gospel. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Your money at this moment at the close. The Dow up by 302 points, more than 0.5% to sit at 48,219. S&P up by 69 points, a full percent, and the Nasdaq up by 280 points. That's about 1.25%. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Ricky, what's happening?
Cleanup continues on this crash northbound I-15. It's after 33rd South and approaching the I-80-201 junction. It's on the shoulder, still causing a little bit of slowing just in that immediate area. And then we have the accident in Utah County, southbound I-15 near 1600 North Orem. A tow truck on the scene. Look for that to the right. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Highs today and tomorrow at 59 degrees. Still a chance of showers. 68 degrees on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, things change big time. 80% chance of showers. Could see some snow showers either on Thursday or Friday. And the temperature on Thursday dropping down to a high of 56. 55 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
A reminder about the simplest way to get updated for your day.
Hit your KSL preset when you jump in the car, and we'll take care of the rest.
Hear key news updates and traffic reports.
Andy and Amanda from 5 to 9 in your car.
KSL News Radio at 102.7 FM.
Celebrate National Serger Month with super deals on all sewing machines and sergers at Dave's Bernina in St. George and Provo.
0% interest for 24 months on purchases over $1,000.
Purchase a new Bernina L890, L860, or L850 model
and receive special pricing plus an option for a free or discounted Bernina Serger Studio. The world-famous Bernina 990 is on sale and includes thousands of dollars worth of free add-ons. Take advantage of 20% off Bernina Serger accessories.
Amazing bargains on previously owned machines while they last that come with warranties.
Dave's Bernina has made a special purchase of previously owned Bernina 330s for only $499 and a limited supply of event machines, new out-of-the-box Bernina 770 and 790 Pro machines with full warranty.
Dave's Bernina, 691 East St. George Boulevard and 2017 North 550 West in Provo. Dave'sBernina.com.
Right now, water heaters are on sale at Any Hour Services. Schedule a free estimate today to see how much you'll save. Google Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
Imagine a world where you can leave the house and take your home Wi-Fi speeds with you. Well, thanks to Xfinity Mobile, it's not just fantasy. Just picture it. You're at your kid's softball practice, streaming the other game in 4K, just like that. At the airport, download a cozy family comedy in a snap. What if the places you had to be felt more like everywhere you wanted to be? That's the magic of Xfinity Mobile. Reliable Wi-Fi and 5G when you need it. Xfinity. Imagine that. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Visit xfinitymobile.com to learn more. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus regular rates for 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More. Verizon Unlimited Plus and AT&T Starter as of 2/10/26. Taxes, fees extra after promo. Regular rates apply. Cut your mobile bill in half. Visit xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Thanks for tuning into Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. New numbers out today show a downward trend in the housing market. And before you think, well, yeah, home sales go down in the winter months, this report shows not only a decline for the month of March, but also year over year. That's according to a brand new report on existing home sales in March from the National Association of Realtors. But how do the numbers look here in Utah? And does that mean it's a buyer's or a seller's market? Joining me from Bankrate is Senior Economic Analyst Mark Hamrick to provide us with some analysis.
The national home sales picture is one that, frankly, is underperforming. We see year-over-year and month-over-month declines in existing home sales. Mind you, this is sales of previously owned homes. New home sales are tracked separately from this. All 4 regions that the National Association of Realtors monitors saw sales declined, and the activity broadly is described as very sluggish and slow. We also saw a continued rise in the national median sales price, meaning we see home prices moving up to a national record of $408,800. The median means that half of the homes that were sold went for a higher price, and half of the homes that were sold went for a lower price. And it was also noted in their briefing this morning that lower priced homes actually were selling less than higher priced homes. So the real picture here is one where the market is constrained by the low supply of homes available for sale. We will have more homes going on the market here during, what is springtime and sort of home buying season. The constraints also are price related because we are seeing home prices on a national basis continuing to rise. And of course, mortgage rates are one of the things which have been essentially a casualty of the Iran war. Interest rates in the bond market have gone higher, and this is what sets the tone for mortgage rates. So the national average for 30-year fixed rate mortgage is just above 6%. This is Bankrite's weekly survey. And, earlier in the year before the war, we were seeing rates that were in the 6.25% range, and on a daily basis, Mortgage News Daily even had rates going right below 6%. So the outlook is quite downbeat for the housing market, but we also want to mention that, the number that we look at, which is the seasonally adjusted annual sales pace, is just under 4 million. So that means that for the year, we might expect around 4 million homes sold. So that's not zero. It's just that it's a much slower and sluggish housing market than would typically be the case. For all the reasons that we just mentioned.
So, Mark, what would be the big takeaway for those folks who were looking to sell their home or buy a home?
Well, first of all, I think that whether we're looking at the Salt Lake City area or nationally, this is definitely a situation where there is an extremely tight supply of homes on the market. That was true recently in what we saw in the Salt Lake City data as well. And so if you're inclined to sell your home, you're probably in a pretty good place. Obviously, every home is different. Every neighborhood is different. Every community is different. But on the other hand, if you're a buyer, I would say, you're going to have to do your homework to find, first of all, a home that is for sale. If you have a really great realtor, they might even know of a home that might be going on the market even before they put the sale sign up. And then you just simply need to be savvy, because if we're talking about a mortgage rate average, a 30-year fixed at about 6.5%, that means that you can get a lower mortgage rate, particularly if you're well qualified, have a high credit score that qualifies you for a lower rate. Of course, you can pay points to get an even lower rate. So I would say don't be discouraged about the trajectory of mortgage rates, because we're still a bit below where we were a year ago, but we're not as low as many people would like to be.
You mentioned that those homes in the kind of more upper income level haven't been as impacted by this kind of downturn. Kind of describe what you think is happening there.
I think one of the reasons why you see more expensive homes moving more in the marketplace is simply because well-qualified buyers are more mobile, and those who are less mobile, less able to move, less able to purchase a home, are more stuck. And that's been the story for quite some time. We have this dynamic that many describe as a so-called K-shaped economy, where middle and lower income, middle and lower wealth households and individuals are obviously constrained by the inflationary supercharged market, which has been in place for some time and got another leg up here with the Iran war. And those who have greater financial resources or are wealthier just simply are more agile and have greater resources to put to work. And so that's reflected in the housing market as well.
You mentioned more homes will be coming on the market now that the weather is kind of warming up. What's kind of the future trend for the summer when it comes to housing prices and sales?
As long as supply remains constrained, I think it's reasonable to expect that on a national basis, we'll still see a modest increase in home prices. The increases are not as large as they had been, simply because I think in part we have these affordability constraints, and we also have the fact that the housing market is, at least on a national basis, somewhat slow and sluggish. The National Association of Realtors just revealed that it has adjusted its forecast for mortgage rates to be higher this year than was thought before. It was looking for them to average around 6% for the year, and they're now looking for the average to be about 6.5%, or where they are right now. Of course, this is very volatile. And they're also downgrading their sales outlook for the full year, having previously thought that we would have a low double-digit percentage increase, namely around 14% for the year, and they've chopped 10% off of that down to a 4% increase. But I would say that it's very important for people to keep in mind that real estate is as local a consideration as there is when it comes to economics. And so to the extent that sales have been firm in the Salt Lake City area, one would think that that momentum carries through. And that probably speaks to, the question of who commands the greater power in the marketplace. Is it buyers or sellers? It would look to me like right now that, there is some balance there, but, savvy shoppers can always win the day.
Mark Hamrick is a senior economic analyst with Bankrate. In just 60 seconds, we'll continue this conversation on affordable housing with an update on how things are going here in Utah to make housing more affordable and more attainable. Stay with us.
It all started with a commitment to comfort. Gillette Heating and Air is proud to be Utah County's go-to team for expert HVAC and plumbing solutions. Need a repair, upgrade, or seasonal tune-up? Don't let cost hold you back. With 0% financing available, it's easy to get the work done now and pay later. Plus, save $100 on any repair over $500 and keep your system running strong with a professional tune-up before the heat hits. Visit GilletteHVAC.com or call 385-GET-COOL to book today. Homegrown service pros, financing made simple, comfort made easy.
Carrier, turn to the experts. A Carrier factory authorized dealer.
Let me ask you a question. You have a best friend? How big would it shock you if somebody told you that your best friend just killed somebody?
911, what's your emergency? Someone on the other line said they kidnapped my son and they're demanding $500,000.
I've asked myself so many times, what in the world happened?
Ransom is available now. Listen at ransompodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
We're continuing our discussion on housing troubles here in Utah. While home sales have slumped a bit, some cities and counties in the state are taking the issue into their own hands, helping developers build more high-density, affordable housing. In Salt Lake City, nearly 600 families will get access to this kind of housing, thanks to the city's contributing $8 million to get them built. KSL 5 TV's Deanie Wimmer has more on how these low-interest loans helped fund 4 developments.
I sat down with a spokesperson for Salt Lake's reinvestment agency. She told me why these projects benefit even residents who don't live in them.
Tell me how these loans for different projects help our housing crisis.
Yeah, these loans really provide a catalyst and a part of a loan stack that allows a larger developer to come in and build more quantity and also at a cheaper rate, at a cheaper rental. So what it does is it allows us to have more than just the studio one-bedroom apartments, but it allows these builders to build family level units and units with special amenities, like the place you're sitting right now here at Spark Apartments, where
this was a redevelopment.
It was a redevelopment project. It did receive a loan, and we've got a wonderful daycare here. We've got some really great amenities coming in on the main level here, and that was really made possible because the extra money that Salt Lake City was able to put in.
Will these projects be sort of modeled after this with those kind of amenities, near a tracks line?
Absolutely. Anytime we can, we love to have projects that have transit located nearby.
This is drone video of the 4 projects and where they'll be built. The Fair Park and Ballpark neighborhoods, Ninth South and Main, and North Temple. Teams already broke ground on the Ballpark project.
Some of those projects that we've recently announced as loan recipients are really targeting deeply affordable. So those are people who are making about, a family of 4 living on $35,000 a year.
And what would rent there? What's affordable?
So it depends on the size of the unit, but in the building we're in now, we have residents paying as little as $350 a month, all the way up to about $1,800 a month. So it sort of depends on their income as to where they're placed on the income scale and also the size of the unit. Some of the models have a mixed income housing model, and we do see that those tend to work best. So you have everything from folks who can only afford about 30% of their income all the way up to market rate. And market rate in Salt Lake City tends to be about $1,500 to $2,000 a month, depending on the apartment size.
Talk to me about the need. I've seen a lot of different apartments and condos springing up, but you're saying we still had a huge need.
Absolutely. We have a huge need, particularly in the affordable housing part, especially when we're looking at folks who are making 30 to 60% of the average median income. Those are the workforce folks who are working in our hotels, who are working at our sporting venues, who are working in our restaurants, who don't make quite the median income of Salt Lake City and need a little bit of extra help with their rent. We are seeing those market rents come down to meet some of the more affordable rents that we've been producing in the city.
So that's a side benefit. As you start to meet the demand, then it's not.
Yes, as volume increases in our apartment offerings, and demand kind of stays steady, we do see those prices come down. So we do have some vacancies in Salt Lake City, which is very unusual. But over the last year or two, we've started to see some vacancies, and that has driven rent prices down.
You told me this is still the number one issue.
It is still the number one issue in the state of Utah. It doesn't matter if you're 22 or 62, you're concerned about the price of housing. And that's because, when you're coming up in age as a 22-year-old and getting ready to graduate from college, you're thinking, where am I going to live? And when you're 62 and maybe you're a little bit in a little bit better spot in your own home, you're worried about where are my kids going to live? Where are my grandchildren going to live? So it is really the number one issue for facing Utahns right now.
Our thanks to KSL 5 TV's Deanie Wimmer for this fascinating discussion on affordable housing challenges and how some municipalities are stepping up to try and help. You can get more on the story by going to ksltv.com. Everyday Americans have been struggling with higher prices on, just about everything, but expectant mothers are experiencing the pains a bit more than most. After the break, we'll discuss some of the suggestions that you shared with us on how soon-to-be mothers can save money once their bundle of joy comes into the world. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio. It's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU. Love where you bank. Ricky?
We have a KSL texter tipping us off to a crash in West Jordan, 7800 South, 2200 West. And we still have crews working on this accident in South Salt Lake, northbound I-15, just after 33rd South. No major delays. Traffic's improving through the area, just slow getting around the crash. Common Spirit hospitals, clinics, and caregivers all connected to advanced health care in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with human kindness is here. Hello, human kindness. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Most financial advisors only manage your money. They refer you out for taxes. They refer you out for estate planning. They refer you out when things get complicated. Did they really vet that person? Or did they meet once, exchange business cards, and call it a partnership? A referral isn't accountability. It's a handoff. When your investments, taxes, and estate plan are built separately, gaps happen, and those can cost money. At Trajan, we didn't build a referral network. We built a family office for all. Wealth, tax, estate. One team delivering coordinated planning, once reserved for the ultra-wealthy. If you want real coordination and not just introductions, call Trajan Wealth today.
Call Trajan today at 801-207-9900. That's 801-207-9900. 801-207-9900. That's 801-207-9900.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
For over 22 years, speaking on business on KSL News Radio has been a beloved tradition, celebrating our heroic business leaders and Utah consumers who have helped build one of the strongest state economies in the nation. Now, under the stewardship of the Salt Lake Chamber and hosted by Chamber President and CEO Derek Miller, the program continues to shine a spotlight on those who make Utah's business environment dynamic and thriving. With his expertise and passion, Derek brings the stories of our business community to life. As part of the Salt Lake Chamber, Speaking on Business is proud to continue its legacy of highlighting inspiring stories, trends, and special guests. Support Utah businesses now and be part of Utah's thriving economy. More information can be found at slchamber.com. That's slchamber.com.
Here's the secret no one's telling you about those trendy weight loss shots. You may have to take them for life, and many people gain the weight back after stopping. With the Salt Lake City Fat Loss Program, there's a better way. The proprietary natural-based program they utilize has helped thousands of people lose weight and keep it off long-term. Imagine losing up to 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 8 weeks without muscle loss, side effects, or yo-yo rebounds. Ready to transform your body for life? Schedule your free personalized consultation today at slcfatloss.com.
I'm Jeff Kaplan. With SLC Fat Loss, I lost 32 pounds in 6 short weeks, and I was never hungry. But even more important, I lost that weight 8 months ago. I've kept it all off. I feel younger. I do. It's a great weight loss program. I recommend it. slcfatloss.com.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Schedule your free consultation today by going to slcfatloss.com. That's slcfatloss.com. Results may vary.
You are listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Expectant mothers are feeling the pinch of rising prices for much-needed supplies. We wanted to know what you did with your newborns to save money, so we asked you to chime in on Facebook. Now, if you'd like, you can also text me your thoughts. The number is 57500. We'll get to those answers and advice in just a few minutes, but first, why are we talking about this? The Tri-County Health Department in rural Utah will hold 2 community baby showers this month to help families facing financial uncertainty. Nursing Director Casey AC says these events are designed to help struggling families get free car seats, diapers, and other supplies.
You know, our communities need a little extra support right now with how things in the economy are. And so we figured it was a really good way that we could support our community. And we actually had some funding that we could use through a different grant, which is our preschool development grant, to really help support the community and give some of those needed items away.
She says nothing like this has been offered since before the pandemic.
You know, where our economy is currently, the price of groceries and, you know, gas and rent and utilities and things like that. So our clients are really needing support maybe in other ways that they haven't in the past or that we haven't experienced in the last few years. And sometimes, you know, we feel like you can have families that are having to choose between certain things, right? What do I need to pay right now currently, or what do I need to do? Do I have to pay this bill, or can I get diapers for my child? You know, we see it frequently on social media, families that are reaching out for assistance. You know, they maybe need a little bit of diapers for the month, or they need, you know, something they have, they're unexpectedly pregnant again and don't have those supplies that they maybe would have had in the years previous. And so we're definitely seeing it a little bit more now than we have.
AC tells KSL News Radio's Britt Johnson families also have fewer places to turn for help because they live in rural areas.
We are rural in nature, and so the resources that maybe Salt Lake County or Salt Lake Health Department would have, we don't have those same resources just because where we are, right? We don't have all of the, you know, the different nonprofits that are maybe in those bigger areas and more urban areas. And so our community kind of has to rally together in different ways when that they're getting that community support maybe from each other rather than like a local nonprofit or even the local health department that maybe has resources that we just don't have.
She says the community response to the showers has been overwhelming.
We definitely have. We have seen it shared on social media from groups that, you know, I didn't even really know existed out there in our community. And so we've really seen a very big positive push, and I've seen multiple people, I'll kind of just stumble across it on Facebook or something and then see how many times it's been shared from that one person or into another group that I didn't even know was there on social media, and it has been incredibly positive. People are tagging all of their friends and, you know, tagging someone and saying, hey, I know you're pregnant right now, maybe this could be good for you to go. And so it has been overwhelmingly positive.
Tri-County Health Department covers Daggett, Duchesne, and Uinta counties. So that's what one health department in the state is doing, but we thought a lot of you might have some ideas too. So joining me now in Midday with more on what you had to say is Midday executive producer Andy Cupp.
So Maria, this was a good Facebook question. We got a few people. We specifically asked moms speaking to soon-to-be moms, what are your tips for saving money as a new mother? Now, obviously I'm a man and not a mother, but you are a mother, Maria. So I'm curious what you think about some of these. So let's start off with Natalie. Natalie says second-hand clothes. Babies only wear things for a few weeks, then move up a size. You can find things second-hand, brand new with tags at thrift store prices.
She is so right on about this. Both of my children wore the same clothes.
When I hear that,
thank goodness I had boys.
That babies, literally change every couple of weeks. It's a different size.
Some can't ever even fit to those newborn sizes. It's amazing how fast they grow.
Let's see. Next one, we have Bree. She says a few general outfits will do through each stage. Onesies and zip-ups are your friends. Don't waste your funds on clothes that they may only wear once or twice. Get something cute, cozy, and let them wear it until they grow out.
Yeah.
Another one with the clothes ones there.
I have one for you here from our texters. Cloth diapering, although a commitment, is a great way to save money on diapers and a great way to support small businesses. I did this with our first child. I tried it with the second child. It didn't go so well. But if you can do it, it's a great way to save.
Diapers are expensive.
Saving the environment for sure.
And that too. And Bree also had a couple of other ones. She says only a few baby bottles or sippy cups. Don't hoard them. And then she also says to stay away from expensive novelty items. And when there was another comment, and I'm probably going to mispronounce this name, Gyron, who said don't spend thousands on trending baby stuff because most of it won't get used or it isn't what you think it is.
Oh, that is so true. And I think with the first baby, you get so excited and you buy all sorts of things. And then you're like, yeah, I didn't need this special thing for the wipes, a special dispenser for the wipes, and a carrying caddy for all of these, items.
I think the first one, you're so excited and nervous, and so you want to do everything right. And then the second one comes along, you're like, whatever.
Well, first of all, you have all the things, So, anyway.
Yeah. There you go.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 2:30, midday at KSL News Radio. I'm Maria Shilaos. Some of the stories we are following. The new Visitor Center at Temple Square opens next month. We'll get a preview. With the tax deadline just 2 days away, what last-minute things should you do to minimize your risk of an audit? And KSL traffic, Ricky.
We do have emergency traffic on I-15 in Utah County. Maria?
And it looks like the weather is going to change big time on Thursday.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The man accused of throwing a Molotov cocktail at the home of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is now facing federal charges. Here's ABC's Mike Dubusky.
Texas man Daniel Moreno-Gama is being accused of throwing a firebomb at the house of Sam Altman last week, sparking a fire. Police say they later discovered writing from Moreno-Gama, including a list of investors, board members, and executives of prominent AI companies that he allegedly intended to kill.
Sunday, in a separate incident, Altman's house was shot at, police say. They now have 2 people in custody. After U.S.-Iran talks broke down, President Trump says the U.S. military has imposed a blockade on the Strait of Hormuz. The president also facing backlash over his criticism of Pope Leo, who called for the war in Iran to end. Pope Leo says he has no fears of the Trump administration and will not stop delivering his message of peace and preaching the gospel. On Wall Street today, stocks ending up, oil climbing once again due to uncertainty with the war in Iran. This is ABC News.
KSL's top local story. Uinta County has reduced their watering times to once a week while they go through these drought conditions.
The county says they are moving to a once-a-week deep water for their cemetery and public buildings, which could mean after the spring weather is over, more dry areas will be spotted. Public Information Officer Angela Hawkins says while the watering schedule for the parks will also be different, they will make sure they're usable.
Our parks are very loved. They're used a lot during the summer.
Hawkins says it's best to avoid doing any sports that could damage the grass when it looks dry or brown. Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
Other local stories, KSL is following. A bar in Salt Lake City narrowly avoided disaster after a pipe burst and flooded their downtown location. KSL News Radio's Cameron Elliott has the story.
Pinball and beer enthusiasts across the valley are rallying behind Quarters SLC after their downtown location was flooded by a burst water main on Main Street yesterday. According to photos and videos posted to their social medias, employees treaded through water, ankle deep in some areas, to save their retro game cabinets, pinball machines, and claw games. They say they're unsure when they'll be able to reopen, but hope it will be soon.
In the meantime, they're inviting people to their Sugar House location for their Donkey Kong fix. Police have arrested a man who is accused of beating up the driver of a car that he got into a crash with in Eagle Mountain.
Police say the victim told them the wheel of a pickup truck rubbed against his car's bumper while it was trying to pass him on Pony Express Parkway Friday afternoon. The truck driver then allegedly sped around, brake checked him, and then started throwing bottles at his car. According to arrest documents, the truck driver then stopped in the middle of the road, got out, and then is accused of punching the victim in the face repeatedly. Investigators say the 25-year-old man driving the car sustained several injuries, including a broken tooth and a split lip. When police later tracked down the man accused of throwing those punches, they say he told them he did it because the victim, quote, had a smirk on his face, according to arrest documents. 27-year-old Daniel Carnitas has been booked into jail on suspicion of several crimes, including felony assault. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
And your money at this moment, the Dow up by 301 points, sitting at 48,218 at the close. S&P up by 69, NASDAQ up by 280 points. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at UCCU.com. And Ricky, we have emergency traffic.
We do. It's in Utah County. Looks like a crash involving multiple vehicles northbound to I-15. It's after Springville, but before you reach University Avenue in Provo. And right now, I don't think there is any traffic getting through. The traffic camera is a bit limited as to what I can see. And when they do start to let traffic go, it'll only be a right lane. So several lanes blocked. A lot of problems involved with this crash in the East Bay area on northbound I-15 in Provo. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Looking at the Wasatch Front forecast, a high of 59 for the next couple of days, then up to 68 for Wednesday. It's the warm before the storm Thursday. Things changing big time, 80% chance of showers. Rain, snow mix. Yes, we may see some snow in the valleys on Thursday. 56 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
You're listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Construction on Temple Square continues to move forward, and next month, an all-new visitor center will open. And then in just a few months, beginning on September 1st, tickets for the Salt Lake Temple Open House will go up for grabs. Today, KSL got a preview of the new visitor center and a few other updates on the ongoing project. And joining me now in the studio with more is KSL's Senior Religion and Arts Specialist, Carol Makita. And what a special day. I'm excited to hear about the visitor center.
Well, I'm excited to tell you about it, Maria, and excited for you to see it. The Visitor Center is a major milestone here on Temple Square. It means things are coming closely to the end where it will all be finished and people will be able to see. But this Visitor Center is unique and unlike any other in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because any visitor who comes will literally be able to walk through a temple. In this Visitor Center, of course, the famous Christus statue by Bertold Thorvaldsen is there again, reflected in the windows is the temple. And there is a replica of the Salt Lake Temple there too, so that people can see every room. But as you take this temple tour, you will literally walk through the experience that all Latter-day Saints have when they go to the temple, from the welcome desk into the baptistry, and you'll be able to do this tour anytime you go on Temple Square. It's a beautiful experience. It explains more about what Latter-day Saints do, what temples are about, and anytime you have friends or family coming, whether it's during the time of the open house for the Salt Lake Temple or not, you'll be able to have that experience.
This is a big change from what the visitor center was before. I mean, most of us who live in Salt Lake have seen the beautiful statue that you were talking about, and that's pretty much what sticks out in your mind if you're not a member of the church.
Right.
Walking up to that beautiful statue. So why, this is a pretty significant change.
President Dieter F. Uchtdorf was one of the ones, along with President Emily Bell Freeman, who is president of the Young Women Association. They explained that there are still so many people who say, why is it a secret of what happens in temples? And they're saying it's, once again, not a secret. We can show you a lot. And so literally they have created a really beautiful temple replica. These rooms are life-size rooms with furniture in them, with stained glass in them, with beautiful fixtures, so that you have the same experience. It's peaceful, it's quiet. It gives people, hopefully, inspiration about what it is that a temple signifies. Many people look at a Latter-day Saint temple and wonder if the inside is perhaps like a cathedral that they have seen of another Christian denomination. And this way, they will see each room that a Latter-day Saint goes into or chooses to go into when serving in the temple.
So it sounds like you're sharing the religious experience, but still keeping the temple the sacred place that it was intended to be.
Exactly. And I should let people know, when it opens, the Visitor Center on May 18th, because these rooms aren't huge, what you need to do is have the app and make a reservation. You don't need tickets, but make a reservation for you and your family or your friends, neighbors, whoever you'd like to go through with, so that you get this full experience.
And not wait in line for a very long time,
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
And then, so the open house for the Salt Lake Temple, talk to us about that, when it's going to happen, and how people will be able to get involved.
This is going to be a very big event, obviously. Tickets go on sale. They are not for sale. Tickets are available starting in September. But the open house celebration does not happen until April of 2027. But that is a 6-month period until October of 2027. And there will be a way in which, locals will be encouraged to use tracks. People who have come from out of town, there'll be a shuttle, and you'll start in the conference center, which is now having some construction of its own, so that it could welcome all of those millions, literally, Maria, millions of visitors. So that is being worked on now. But as a preview event, this visitor center opens next month, and I encourage everyone to take advantage of that opportunity. It was beautiful.
I have to ask, many of us who drive by Temple Square daily, see a lot of construction, and that's not just all the visitors center, is it? Or are there other buildings, or what else is being constructed?
Well, let me just explain. There are two buildings that face the conference center on North Temple, and you're probably wondering what are those?
Yes.
Those are entrances for the temple.
I see.
Okay, so when you visit, you'll go through those one or the other of those buildings, and they both take you into the temple. And then on the other side are two buildings that face South Temple, and those are the visitor centers. And it's not two visitor centers, it's one. The Christus is on top of one, and the Salt Lake Temple replica is on top of the other, and you go downstairs and you experience the temple underneath. So there are stairs that lead from one to the other, but it's actually one visitor center.
So hard to explain on the radio, right? When you have pictures,
I promise it'll
video,
make sense.
it's like, right. Will people be able to see more tonight on Channel 5?
Yes, I promise we will bring you 5, 6, 10. We'll have on our KSL TV.com website and on our social media. You'll be able to see lots of this.
Make sure we haven't confused people. So if they would like to see the visitor center.
If you want to see the temple replica rooms at the visitor center, opening May 18th, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. In order to do that, please do the app. Download the app so that you can make a reservation.
And then if you want the tickets for the open house.
Tickets for the open house will be coming in September, and you'll need to jump on to that as well to make your reservations. And there's a 6-month period, so you'll have an opportunity, probably a lot of people around here, maybe to do that more than once. So
terrific. Thank you so much, Carol.
Thank you.
That's Carol Makita, Senior Religion and Arts Specialist for KSL in studio with me. KSL's Carol Makita and Daniel Woodruff will have more on the developments at Temple Square coming up tonight on KSL 5 News, and you can get more information at ksltv.com. Midday continues in just 60 seconds.
You deserve a home that's truly your sanctuary. Why are you waiting? Dreammaker Bath and Kitchen helps turn someday into today. A space that works and feels like you. Because design and build live under one roof, your remodel experience stays organized. From the first discovery consultation to the final walkthrough, with one team from start to finish. You deserve a home that you can truly be happy in. And that's possible right now. A clear, structured timeline keeps guesswork out of your kitchen or bath project, and it starts with your budget and a fixed price. Then the detailed plan begins with smart and stylish selections, so you know exactly what to expect. Dreammaker Bath and Kitchen is built on integrity and customer focus, and that shows up in the little things, clean job sites, and proactive updates that keep you fully in the loop. Back nationally and 3 locally owned Wasatch Front locations. Schedule a consultation at dreammaker-remodel.com. That's dreammaker-remodel.com. Enhancing lives, improving homes. dreammaker-remodel.com.
T-2 days to the tax deadline ahead of April 15th. We here at KSL are taking a deeper dive into the last-minute tax preparation tips that you need to know. President of the Utah Association of CPAs, Susan Spears, joined Inside Sources this morning to talk about audits. Wall Street Journal recently posted an article with the headline, America's New Tax Mantra, the IRS isn't going to catch me. Is that feeling accurate?
Historically, it's been like 0.5% of returns are being audited. However, the IRS is ramping up their audits, and they're becoming more targeted in how those audits are, where they're going to audit. So we're not out of the woods on this.
Okay, so audits are still happening even as the IRS downsizes. So what things should you watch out for as you file your taxes to minimize your risk of an audit?
Well, I think from the 30,000-foot view, and boy, we could get as granular as you wanted, but I think, let's look at W-2s that don't match the information provided by employers. That's kind of a biggie. If we have a fairly high amount of earned income tax credits, earned income tax credit returns are quite often audited. It's like 4 times more than the usual type audit because there's so much fraud. If you're missing Social Security numbers or if Social Security numbers are incorrect, you might get a little correspondence audit notice. income from 1099s that aren't reported. And it's more than just interest or dividend income. Think about, we have a lot of people that are doing side hustles to bring in extra money. So they're getting these 1099s. They may discard them or just not worry about them. And then now with the 1099Ks being distributed, I think a lot of people just don't know what to do with them.
As you rush to get your taxes done before Wednesday, what other things should you watch out for?
I think make sure that you can document everything that you're reporting on your return. When we talk about revenue, you know all the income you're bringing in, but if you're reporting on a business, make sure that you can document your business expenses. Don't just estimate. Kind of as a red flag, if you're estimating expenses on a tax return and those expenses end in fives or zeros, there's a chance you might get audited.
Susan Spears is the president of the Utah Association of CPAs. Tune in tomorrow and Wednesday for more last-minute tax tips. That's on Inside Sources, 10 in the morning, right here on KSL News Radio. What do you think of tech violence? You probably think of things, when you think of it, you probably think of things like cyber bullies or maybe cyber scams. After the break, we'll talk about some legitimate physical violence against tech and what it says about society's feelings on technology. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio. It is brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. What's happening, Ricky?
Well, traffic at a crawl in Utah County on northbound I-15 in the East Bay area. And it's all due to this crash on northbound I-15, which what remains of it is still to the left. And this is prior to University Avenue, Provo. In the East Bay area, you'll see that traffic is starting to move a little bit now that they've opened up more lanes of travel. However, the stop-and-go delays are still reaching back to Springville. So if you need to travel through that stretch, you may want to consider an alternate like Highway 89. Looking to connect your kids with nature? Flower gardening is hands-on, time together, and memories. Olson's Greenhouse offers perfect plants for families to grow together. For porches, patios, beds, or containers, visit Olson's at OGG.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
At KSL News Radio, we have a 30-year legacy of honoring Utah teachers, but we can't do it without your help. Please tell us about an important teacher in your life on the KSL Teacher Tribute Wall, presented by Cypress Credit Union. Each month, one lucky teacher wins a $500 gift card from Cypress Credit Union, a $250 gift card to Harmon's, plus season tickets to Hale Center Theater. Say thanks to your teacher today at kslnewsradio.com/teacher from Cypress Credit Union and KSL News Radio.
Join KSL News Radio's Amanda Dixon this Friday from 3 to 5 at the Salt Lake NPS store at 1600 Empire Road, npsstore.com.
Hey, did you hear about that multi-billion-dollar Roundup settlement?
Yeah, it impacts people who are exposed to weed killers at work or at home, even if you just used it in your own yard. Lawsuits claim it causes non-Hodgkin lymphoma, a blood cancer.
But we're not sick, so that doesn't affect us.
But it does. This cancer can take 10 to 15 years to show up.
That's a long time after exposure.
It is, and that's why the settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you get sick, even years from now, you could get $6,000 to $165,000 or more as part of this settlement.
So what's the catch?
If you stay in, you give up the right to sue them later.
Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 1-888-403-8201. If you or a loved one has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, even if they've passed, you must register for benefits. That's weedkillerclass.com. 1-888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
This is Nate Orchard from Advanced Window Products. When you live in Utah, your windows do a lot more than let the light in. They protect your home from freezing winters, blazing summers, and everything in between. That's why Advanced Window Products builds every window for your local climate. No middleman, no out-of-state delays, just factory direct quality, custom made for your home. Imagine a quieter home, a warmer home, a cooler home. Our high-efficiency vinyl windows are engineered to lower your energy bills and boost your comfort all year round. And installation is done by our own certified in-house crews, never subcontractors. That's why Utah homeowners give us 5-star reviews. Right now, take advantage of our anniversary sale. For a limited time, get $2,500 off when you buy 10 or more windows. Call 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100. For 40 years, Advanced Window Products has been the name Utah trusts for custom replacement windows and sliding glass doors. Advanced Window Products, built here, installed here, trusted here. Call 801-850-9100 for that $2,500 off, or visit us at advancedwindows.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet, and the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We have locations in Farmington, Riverton, and Sandy.
This is Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. We are seeing more reports of physical violence to people or companies connected to AI. You heard that right. Not cyber attacks per se, but actual physical attacks. For more on this growing trend and the danger it presents, I spoke with retired FBI agent Greg Rogers.
Well, I think what's going on is you notice that a lot of the offenders that have been arrested so far are pretty young. And I don't think it's any different than some of the other attacks we've seen. Basically, there are a bunch of youth that are getting sort of radicalized in encrypted chat rooms. They get into these chat rooms and they talk with people all day that just agree with them. And AI has become people are fearful of it, that it's going to take jobs. There's also people that don't like it because of the environmental impact it's going to have, because of the amount of water the big centers use. So they get on these chat rooms and they talk all day about how they've got to do something about it and how it's going to be so destructive. And they act out this way, so it's dangerous.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned a couple of these people have been arrested. Is it pretty easy for law enforcement to catch these guys?
Yeah, because you've noticed the ones in California, Mr. Altman's residents, they're not savvy at all. That's why I think these are just these young people that are in these, again, getting radicalized in these chat rooms because they weren't even careful. They showed up in their own car. A property like Altman's is going to have incredible security, which, of course, it did. So they got videos of them leaning out of the car. They also got perfect shots of their license plates. So, I mean, these people weren't savvy. They weren't being careful. They were certainly not sophisticated. They were acting impulsively.
So right now they're targeting AI, but have you seen this pattern before?
Yeah, no, this is very similar to the shooting in Butler when President Trump was just a candidate. There's indications that the shooter there was on some of these chat rooms in the Charlie Kirk shooting. Same thing. Mr. Robinson was clearly in some of these chat rooms. And so, again, it's just not healthy for folks to get into these rooms and be talking to people, other extremists who everybody just agrees. So when you say things like in a chat room like that, when you say, yeah, I'm going to go throw a pipe bomb at Altman's residence, everybody agrees with you. They say, oh, that's great because you're in there with a bunch of people that have extreme views like you do. So there's not a voice of reason. There's no one saying, that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's criminal. What do you hope to achieve,
So, Greg, how does law enforcement deal with this? I mean, do they monitor chat rooms?
We try, but it's very difficult. These are encrypted. And so you have to have, most of these are encrypted, so you have to have access passcodes. So we do have, clearly we have people that work online undercover like we do in child pornography investigations. But to get into these encrypted chat rooms, you've got to have, usually you've had to have arrested somebody and get them to agree to cooperate and give you their passwords and tell you about the chat room. And so it's not as easy as you think. It's a difficult thing to do, but we do our best to do it, but it's tough.
So do you just see this this kind of situation getting worse?
Unfortunately, yes. It's what's happened is, and you've noticed it again in say things like protests against ICE and protests against other. There seems to be a more of an acceptance of acting violently and to do things at protests that normally you wouldn't do. People are bringing firearms, like at our No Kings protest here that broke, that we had that horrible situation at. There seems to be more of an acceptance to act violently and to try to prove your point by doing something violently, and because you're going to get more press, and so it's that's becoming more and more common, and that's dangerous.
Greg Rogers is a retired FBI agent and criminal law instructor at Utah Valley University. Faith and technology leading to one special, long-awaited happy reunion in Philadelphia. ABC's Whit Johnson has the story.
40. A heartfelt reunion more than 10 years in the making. 40, look at you. Jordan Koviak reuniting with her beloved pit bull 40, who was stolen from her Philadelphia backyard back in 2015.
It was a long time of heartache.
Jordan had 40 since he was a puppy, and after his disappearance, frequently updated his microchip, hoping someday someone would find him.
I never gave up on him, ever. I was so relentless.
Then last month, after more than 10 years of uncertainty, an animal control officer called with good news. They found her boy.
I cried. All I did was cry. I didn't go to bed that night.
Rushing to ACCT Philly to pick him up the next day with her husband and son. 40, a bit hesitant at first, but quickly warmed up.
He wants to go play with the other dog. Yay! Whoa!
Now back home, enjoying his new family members, including King, another pit bull.
Don't give up. Never give up.
Never give up, never surrender. That's my motto. Britt is in today for Jeff Kaplan, who's off to be a grandfather, Britt. So thanks for filling in. Very exciting day for him. All right.
Yes.
Thanks for joining me today.